I found an error in my automation software, I think. Gotta report it to the developers.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
A whole box of garlic bread? What's up, Moonbeam?
We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
Thinking about eating an entire box of Ambien. All right, let me fire up Facebook. It'll take a minute. For some reason, the first time I activate it, it never fucking works. Like, I have to refresh and then activate it again. Doesn't make any fucking sense, but I don't know. It's something to do with this plugin, I think. It does it so often, like every fucking time. Eat an entire box of 12 gauge and go to sleep. You never know. Potato. All right, there it is. So like that. Change accounts. Dude, I saw a video of Charlie Kirk he was basically defending Trump's use of his meme coin, saying, he wants to run a meme coin, let him run a meme coin. And people were like, it was a rug pull. Like, he fucked over his audience right as he was, president. And he's like, well, he wasn't actually president. He was only president-elect. And people are like, that doesn't matter. Like, he was fucking over his audience. And Charlie Kirk's like, some people made money, some people lost money, So I know people who made money off of it. And the very first comment was, it said, wow, that's such an interesting, what's his name, Charlie? Does he do debates anymore? That was it. That was the whole comment. Very funny. Made me laugh. Made me chuckle a little bit on the inside. All right, let's roll the intro.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is?
Big Daddy's meat stick.
Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it.
The people who made money, literally,
things that go on,
they were in on it. That's the only people who made money. And the only people who know anybody who makes money is people like Charlie Kirk who are tied to the administration. Right?
Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is a Cold Beer Confessional. They like to point at Trump's meme coin and be like, well, 80% of 80% of it was pre-issue before they open and they're locked in. Yeah, but they received those tokens for free. They didn't pay a dime for them. So let's say I was given 1 million tokens by Donald Trump. As long as the shit's worth a fucking dollar by the time my locked in period, I just made $1 million out of nothing. What don't you get about that? Those people were just given those tokens, allocated. They didn't pay a dime for them, zero. And he's used his audience the rest of it. And then people that weren't locked in, that aren't vested for a certain amount of time, just fucking sold off instantly, right? As soon as he ran it up, they all sold it off. Same with Melania coin. They didn't even pretend like it was like some type of long-term thing. They literally sold off within a week. They fucking rug pulled within a week. It was a joke. It's the same way when you see a big influencer on TikTok saying buy to the moon coin or whatever. I'm in it. I've got 1 million tokens. Or they were given those tokens and money on top of it to tell you to buy it. When you buy it, your activity drives the price up, right? And then when the price is driven up, they just sell out. It's a rug pull. The creators and people associated with the coin usually get all of theirs free. Influencers get theirs free. They're not putting any money into it. They're influencing you to put money into it, which drives the price up so they can sell and get out. All right, where we at? We're here. We're getting started. My light bill fucking tripled, dude, for the office. So we have electric meters. First of all, I thought I wouldn't get this bill for like another month because for some reason I was thinking like light bills were like a month behind. But I forgot, like, we all have those, like, electronic meters that automatically report. So literally the day into your cycle, the bill comes out the next day. So 2 days ago was into the cycle. The bill came out yesterday. My light bill fucking tripled for the office. Just where it's been so cold lately, I guess. It was fucking, it's usually around $100. And all it does is run my 3D printers, the lights, the computer stuff, the stream stuff, and a heater when it's cold. God damn, the space heaters rape me, dude. It was like $338 or something. insane, especially when I'm not here 90% of the time, right? I just come here for the stream, do the stream and leave. And occasionally, like, I'll run a 3D print while I'm not here. Most of the time, lights are off, heat's off, everything's fucking off. Computer's off. Oh, well. Win some and you lose some, I guess. All right, let's get started. Sorry, I was reading something. I've got some clips. Where do I want to start? Oh, I guess I can send you all that video that was just sent to me. I guess. We can start there. Oh, I like this. Check this out. I saw this just before I went live. This is hypothetically, if someone is accused of having sex with goats by over 30 different people, and they regularly denied it, but also dropped very public hints about how much like they like to have sex with goats for decades. And they ran a goat pageant to find the best looking goats. And was best friends with someone who got convicted of fucking goats and trafficking goats. Two friends all over the world who also like to fuck goats. And his name was in the classified Goat Fucker Chronicles 5,000 times. And he wished other goat fuckers well in prison. What do you think the odds are that that person's also a goat fucker? And probably pretty good, to be honest with you. It's probably pretty good odds, right? Not making any accusations here. I don't want to get sued or ice fucking kicked down the door. But the odds are probably pretty good. That's a goat fucking son of a bitch, okay? This will piss you off right off the bat. So, Mike Johnson, who claims he is a constitutional lawyer. That's like his job when he wasn't in Congress, okay? A constitutional law. It says he spent nearly 20 years successfully litigating high-profile constitutional law. But right now, the Constitution is against us. So if you don't know what's going on, there's a judicial warrant and there's an administrative warrant. An administrative warrant can be signed by your coworker. And all it says is there's probable cause to believe that this person has violated immigration laws. That's all it says. A judicial warrant is usually for some type of much larger crime, right? At least a misdemeanor. And it is based on probable cause as well, but it's like an arrest warrant for a U.S. citizen. To enter someone's home. This has never been a question. It's never been challenged for 200 plus years. To enter someone's home, you need a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Evidence was shown to a judge. You cannot get a warrant to enter somebody's home from your coworker. You can't call your fucking supervisor and be like, hey, I need a warrant, sign it. And he signs it and you enter someone's home. And even though we have this protection that a judicial warrant is required to enter someone's home, there are exceptions. One of the most well-known exception that everybody that deals with law enforcement, constitutional law, any of that type of stuff, right? Even regular criminal lawyers, one of these exceptions is called hot pursuit. What is hot pursuit? It's not officially defined, but basically, if you're in pursuit of someone and they run into a house and slam the door right behind you, like you're chasing them, they're 10 feet in front of you, they've run into this dwelling and slammed the door, you obviously don't have to wait on a warrant. That's your guy. You're making an arrest. You saw the house he went into. He just went into it to try to avoid being arrested. Hot pursuit is an exception. And it always has been an exception. Well, in modern history, it's always been an exception to the Fourth Amendment protections and requiring a warrant. Okay? It's been around. No one is alive when hot pursuit wasn't around, okay? If you're chasing someone, they can't just run into a house and shut the door behind them, okay? That would be silly. Everybody knows this. Mike Johnson knows this. The administration knows this. But this is the type of spin they're trying to put on it to make this argument sound dumb. Mike Johnson is going to say, oh, you want a judicial warrant? But what if someone just runs in a house and closes the door, we got to call a judge now? No, that has never been the case. Ever, ever, ever.
I was like a ninja.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm in a conservative group chat, and I'm slowly working them towards making cream by the Wu-Tang Clan. That's exactly right. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it. Hot Pursuit's always been an exception. He knows this. He knows this. But listen to his excuse. Here we go.
Protections and rights someone has.
It's hard to hear the question, but basically, if an ICE agent approaches their home with an administrative warrant, is what they're asking. They're asking about entering homes. And she says, you're a constitutional lawyer. Can you discuss the Fourth Amendment protections and right someone has?
Protections and rights someone has if an ICE agent approaches their
If an ICE agent approaches their homes with an administrative warrant.
home with an administrative warrant.
How much time? Let me say this. Okay, so when ICE goes to execute a warrant, it's an administrative warrant, and it's issued by an immigration judge.
Administrative warrant issued by ICE itself, not by an immigration judge.
And that is a...
So he lies about it right off the bat, right? He lies about it right off the bat. Administrative warrants are not issued, very rarely issued by an immigration judge.
By ICE itself, not by an immigration judge.
And that is a sufficient legal authority to go and apprehend someone.
Correct. It authorizes ICE to arrest an individual.
An arrest.
In the warrant.
They
Yes.
violated the law. They crossed over our border illegally, and they're here and without any right to be here, okay?
Administrative warrant is based on probable cause of removability, that the person is here without status or can be removed from the country, not probable cause of a crime or criminality.
Again, I'm telling you, no matter what this administration tells you, you can literally have a coworker sign an administrative warrant. This is not bad for leftists. This is not bad for immigrants. This is bad for everyone. If we set the precedent that administrative warrants allow entry into a home.
That's what's happening. Now, the controversy has erupted where
I know recently a lot of MAGA people have flipped on the Second Amendment, but have you seen, I know if you're a Second Amendment person and you're watching this show, I'm a huge Second Amendment guy. I know you've seen videos of ATF agents showing up at people's houses and asking them about force reset triggers. And those people in those houses telling them to get fucked. You got a warrant? No? Get fucked. They always ask, can we come in and talk to you? They say, you got a warrant? No? Get fucked. They did the same thing with the, when the arm brace was banned for a little bit. Got a warrant? Get fucked. You're setting the precedent now, okay, that they can go back to their car and say, well, I think he does have an arm brace. I think he does have a FRT.
Well, it's like a ninja.
Will you sign a warrant for me? Talking to their partner. Replace our national anthem, I Want Cream by Wu-Tang Clan. Sorry, I'll never dictate to my phone again. I knew the song you were talking about. Oh, my God. That's an unfortunate cut. I said send, by the way, wanted Confederacy song to replace our national anthem. I Want Cream by the Wu-Tang Clan. I got you. Makes sense now. Cash rules everything around me. They can go back and you can tell them to get fucked. Do you have a warrant? ATF shows up and you've bought something that's technically legal, but they've said, oh, well, we don't know if it's legal and we're still discussing it, okay? That's the issue around force reset triggers. They weren't illegal. The ATF tried to make a rule, not a law, a rule that they were suddenly illegal, okay? They show up at your house. You tell them to get fucked. It's not illegal. You got a warrant? No. Kick rocks, motherfucker. They go back to their car. One agent looks at the other agent and says, can you sign an administrative warrant for me? The other agent says, yeah, I think we have probable cause. Sign the warrant and they come kick down your fucking door. That's the precedent you're setting by letting ICE enter homes with administrative warrants.
if someone is, they're going to be apprehended and they run behind a closed door and lock the door, I mean, what is ICE supposed to do? What is Immigration Customs Enforcement supposed to do at that point? Oh, gee whiz, they locked the door. I mean, I guess we'll just go on to our...
Again, this is an outright lie. This is a lie. 100%. Hot pursuits has almost always been an exception to Fourth Amendment, okay? You cannot run into a house. You cannot shut the door behind you and just say, "Oh, I'm safe now." It's not like a safe space. It's not a base. It's nothing.
So
This constitutional scholar clearly doesn't understand that there are certain exceptions to a warrant requirement, such as when someone is in hot pursuit of.
All right, here's hot pursuit. The hot pursuit doctrine provides that the police may pursue a fleeing suspect into a home without a warrant when they have probable cause to make an arrest, and when that arrest was already in motion in a public place within their jurisdiction. So again, what he just said is a lie. Oh, so they're chasing somebody and because they shut the door, now we can't make an arrest? Hot pursuit is an exception to the Fourth Amendment search warrant requirement, which provides that police officers need an arrest warrant before they can enter a home to make an arrest. If a felony has just occurred and the officer has chased a suspect to a private residence, the officer can forcibly enter the residence to prevent imminent injury, the destruction of evidence, or the suspect's escapes. Courts generally apply this on a case-by-case basis after review of the totality of the circumstances facing the officer at the time. Now, one thing I want you to know about hot pursuit, just pretend with me that this could happen to you someday, right? Somebody runs in your house or whatever. As soon as the arrest happens, the hot pursuit exception ends. They must leave immediately. It is not like, oh, well, we chased him in here, so now we're going to search around the room he was in. Doesn't fucking matter. Now you got to go back to the warrant, okay? But it does allow for them to chase somebody into a house. You cannot close the door. You cannot say home base. You can't tag me now. That's not how it works.
A suspect.
there's some logic and reason that is to be applied here. Some have complained that the force has been excessive or what have you. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. It's part of the discussion over the next couple of weeks. I tell you what the Democrats want to do and what we cannot do, and that is...
What do the Democrats want to do?
Add an entirely new layer of warrant requirement. Okay, they want to...
Bullshit. It's the same layer that has always protected all of us. That you need a judicial warrant to enter a house. Are there exceptions to that? Sure. The exception has never, ever, ever been, we got an administrative warrant for my buddy.
They want to have a judicial warrant on top of the immigration judge warrant. And we can't do that.
Since 1791, the United States has required a judicial warrant to get inside of homes and...
Since 1791. What is 235 years? 235 years. You've needed a judge to sign a warrant to come into your home. Mike Johnson spins it as they want this extra fucking warrant from a judge or something to go into people's homes. We can't do that. We've been doing it for 235 years, and it's protected all of us.
other spaces for searches and seizures. This is baseline. We're not asking for something new. Coming from the people who constantly talk about doing things the right way, we're really making...
And again, Mike Johnson's not an idiot standing up there like a mouthpiece. And Mike Johnson is he was 20 years as a constitutional lawyer, an originalist based on the Constitution and Bill of Rights. And he's like, they want this new thing, like this brand new layer. This is something about a warrant from a judge to enter people's home. I don't even know what they're talking about. Administrative warrants is a slippery slope, 100%. You got to think of however you live your life, okay? Maybe you like to tinker with electronics and or fucking black powder, or maybe you like firearms, or maybe you have a lot of immigrant friends. However you like to live your life, think of a government agency that could make your life fucking horrible if they could just enter your home because two buddies agree. Not a judge, not showing evidence, not doing anything, but they're just sitting in their car one day and they're thinking, I bet this guy's got some, shit on his computer, or he's got a forced reset trigger, or he's got this, or he's got a fucking jar of moonshine, or he's got whatever you keep in your home. And they just fucking decide together, no judge, no evidence, no nothing, that they have enough probable cause that one of them's going to sign the warrant and the other one's going to serve it. I'm trying to become a trad wife. Nobody will have me.
And a lot of excuses here.
If you're a constitutional lawyer, can you detail the Fourth Amendment protections and rights someone has?
So this lawyer sets him up to knock it out of the park, honestly, for a constitutional win. You're a constitutional, lawyer. Could you detail everybody what their rights are when someone shows up to your home with an administrative warrant? Yeah, they can't enter, right? For 235 years, we've said it takes a judicial warrant to enter the home. Now, there are exceptions such as hot pursuit and, destruction of evidence and blah, 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 whatever.
If an ICE agent approaches their home with an administrative warrant.
They all giggle about it.
Yeah, right.
It's funny. It's funny. Why? Because no government agency's ever going to show up at Mike Johnson's home or Mike Johnson's son's home while they're monitoring each other's porn fucking intake. What they beat off to. It's a joke, right? They do not give a fuck about any of us. I'll go ahead and tell you.
And welcome back, everyone. It's live now from Fox 7 News. Mike Bishop, it's great to be with you as we continue to roll on. Next up, we want to talk about, we've really been seeing these anti-ICE protests happening all over the country, even happening at schools. We're seeing students walk out in protest. But next up, we want to take you out to Texas, where a brawl broke out during one of these walkouts. Let's go out right now to Fox 7 Austin's Jenna King with the latest after this really chaotic scene played out.
Swatting is actually an exception to the Fourth Amendment, right? Imminent danger.
Yeah, hey there. This video, of course, going viral on social media, sparking a lot of mixed reaction and, of course, raising a lot of questions. On Monday, several hundred students walked out of 5 Hayes.
All right, so this has been going on all over the nation. Student walkouts, school walkouts to protest ICE and overreach and violence and shit like that.
The ISD campuses, including Hayes High School, Live Oak Academy High School, Lehman High School, Barton Middle School, and Johnson High School. Walkouts also happening at Austin ISD, Pflugerville ISD, and Manor ISD.
Students have the right to protest and display their First Amendment rights in educational environments. That's exactly what these students were doing.
At Moe and Jean Johnson High School, things took a turn. The Buda Police Department says Monday afternoon the department became aware from a school resource officer about the walkout protest on RM 967. Just before 3 p.m., Buda officers were called to the intersection of RM 967 and FM 1626 for reports of a fight. Police say a verbal argument between a young woman on the sidewalk and an adult man in a vehicle.
So a grown-ass adult man gets out of the car. No, I don't give a fuck what they said to him. I don't care if they said, I'll kick your ass, get out of the fucking car. These are high school students, bro. These are high school students. He gets out of the car and gets in a fist fight with high school students. And of course, there's way more of them than this is like that. Like how many fucking fourth graders you think you could beat up? I don't know how many I could beat up, but it's not 200. It's not 200 high school students.
Escalated into a physical altercation involving multiple people. Several videos were posted to the Buda PD Facebook page. One video shows the man getting out of his truck and approaching the teens before the fight.
Of course, he's got his MAGA hat on.
Breaks out.
For us to have to fear for our safety is not usual, and for us,
I do not care what those kids said. I don't care if they threatened his life. He's in a vehicle on the road with all the availability to fucking leave the situation. They're walking. He gets out of his fucking car and approaches them.
not to know who's on our side, for us not to know who's going to come out of nowhere. You know, we think that in a city like Austin that we're safe, that people will side with us, but to see something like that happen, it shows that you will find counter-protesters anywhere.
The group falls to the grass. The man then gets up and walks back to his truck. The video shows students throwing water bottles at him. Students or SEAT is a student-led movement that works to get young people involved in the
wish it was fucking Molotovs. Fuck that guy.
All levels of government. Group leaders say the altercation raises concerns about safety at future scheduled walkouts.
I think that there needs to be action taken on that. And
I did see an overreaction video. I don't have it. I could probably find it. I think I've got this video already, don't I? Do the Epstein files. Sorry. It doesn't matter. I'm going to grab it. Copy link. I'll put it over here.
Who, if he...
All right, check this out. I did see a parent I think it's an overreaction. Maybe you guys will call me wrong. I don't know. It looked like to me that a coach tried to separate two students that were being aggressive and fighting each other. Well, maybe I can find it. Is it gone? The coach did a good job of making sure the kids are separated, and that was it. It was what it looks like to me. But then oh, here it is. Yeah, this is it. All right. I think this is an overreaction. You tell me what you think. Let's try it out. I gotta mute it if the audio's
like
playing.
a ninja.
Oh shit! If you want to fight 15 kids, you better fucking win. Yeah, you just look like a bitch who tried to fight 15. You better look like fucking John Wick up in that motherfucker if you're out here fighting kids. That's the only way I'm gonna give you a pass. If like 60 kids fucking attack you and you're like laying them out left and right and using other kids as weapons, maybe. All right, this is a definite overreaction. You let me know what you guys think. Thank you for the donation, Grassroots. All right, so we're going to see a coach in red separate two kids for sure. I'll stop it then. All right, so kids' basketball game. This kid's clearly got the ball. He comes down through here, but kind of off screen, these kids are going to start scrapping. See these two kids right here that are centered on the screen in the foreground? They're going to start scrapping a little bit. A punch is thrown or something. One kid jumps on the other kid's back, right? Now watch. A parent runs down, fine. Don't get involved, but you can run down and yell or whatever. Now, this guy in the red shirt here is the red team's coach. Okay? Now, I'll give you he could have went to his player to separate, but he didn't, right? He went to the other player. But this is all he does. Right? He just kind of grabs that kid and directs him towards his coach. Okay? I don't think I've seen anything too fucking wild here that's going to cause a wild reaction. You could argue, hey, you're the red coach, go to the red player, leave the fucking white player alone, right? Don't touch him at all. But all he did was shoulders and directed him back to the ref and his coach. Now watch what happens. Out of fucking nowhere, dude. He's walking away. Everything stopped. This is the other team's coach or parent or whatever. Now watch. Boom, dude. Bodied, my man. A little bit of an overreaction, I think. I get it. Anybody touches my kids, I'm going to be pissed too. I don't know that I would be this pissed. Out of nowhere. Boom. Probably a little bit of an overreaction. If I had to guess, a little bit of an overreaction, okay? What do you guys think? I'm guessing that was the parent of the red kid. I'm sorry, of the white kid. The kid in white. Wasn't great for him either, honestly. If you're going to do that, at least fucking wrap up, secure the tackle, right? We don't do fucking arm tackles around here. We don't throw our chests with our fucking with our fucking arms crossed in front. What the fuck was that, dude? Wrap him up. Finish him. So there you go. A little bit of an overreaction. We can finish this video now.
I would like to see a full investigation done on how it started and what can be done to prevent this happening in the future, because like we discussed, these protests and walkouts are not going to stop anytime soon, and we need to create policies and create environments where they can continue to happen safely.
ACISD saying it's aware of the video, but it's being investigated by Buda PD since it happened off campus. The district also confirms the man in the video was not a teacher or employee. In a separate walkout, 2 students were
Just a
arrested
random
on the
guy.
attention of Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott responded online saying in part, quote, "It's about time students like this were..."
By the way, Greg Abbott responds to a separate incident where 2 students were arrested, doesn't respond to the incident where a random fucking man gets out and attacks students in his state.
Arrested. Harming someone is a crime, even for students. We are also looking into stripping the funding of schools that abandon their duty to teach our kids the curriculum required by law, end quote. Tuesday afternoon, Hays County Judge Ruben Becerra addressed the fight, saying the adult in the video had a clear responsibility to exercise restraint. Becerra went on to say that the Hays County DA's office is investigating. Yeah, like we mentioned, Buda PD says that the incident is, of course, under investigation and no arrests have been.
Oh, you're saying from his parents that the kid in the white was probably the one who started it? Probably.
You guys.
Jenna King, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. We always appreciate the updates all right here. All right, everyone, we'll take another 2-minute break. We'll be back with more.
All right. I'm not a big fan of Tennessee, but Tennessee's actually doing something really cool right now. Well, cool to me because I'm a fucking nerd. So you guys know who Whistling Diesel is, and we went over that he's been arrested. So basically, the more I've thought about this, the more I think that Tennessee is doing this as a public warning. Could they have handled it differently? Absolutely. Could they have picked a more deserving person to and a more terminally online person to do it to? Probably not. So basically, Whistling Diesel, like other people in Tennessee, buys a luxury car, has that car registered to an LLC that's just a post office box in Minnesota, and avoids paying Tennessee sales tax. Tennessee is very clear on this. It's about it doesn't matter if you have an LLC in Minnesota or not. It's about the percentage of time that the car is in Tennessee. It's about the percentage of time that you live in Tennessee, right? And we would think that your car is going to be with you. And basically, they're trying to make an example. A lot of people do this. A lot of people in Tennessee do this. If you buy a super expensive car, our sales tax is 9.7%, almost 10% in Tennessee. So a lot of people try to, I'm sorry, Montana. What was I saying? Minnesota? Montana, you're right. It's 9.7%. So a lot of people with, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 cars, that's a lot of money to spend, especially Whistling Diesel, because his thing is like he buys the cars and destroys them. So, to set an example, they went after Whistling Diesel. They talked to his accountant. They did their background. They did their research. They show up. They serve a warrant. They arrest him, take him to jail. He makes bail. Now, he goes to the internet talking about this, that, they can't do this, riling people up. So they try a gag order. They get a temporary or a partial gag order on him, right? They get a partial gag order, and he deletes one of the videos. Now they've arrested him again. I do not know what the second arrest is for, but we're about to find out right here. Tennessee is spending literally zero money. So if you don't know, like Tennessee and different police agencies or whatever within Tennessee, they spend money on advertising. Have you ever seen the don't drink and drive or don't pay for your gas, lose your license, and we're out here and blah, blah, blah? They are spending $0 and making an example, and Whistling Diesel is basically doing their bidding. That's the cool part, I think, about it, right? He probably owes the taxes. He should pay the taxes. He has the money to pay the taxes. He's just trying to avoid it because he has enough money to do this. And they're getting all this free advertisement out of him, and he's basically doing their bidding. This is going to discourage other people because they're making an example out of him.
Graceful humans in the Tennessee Department of Revenue. They sent an entire team of police officers to the Nashville airport. I don't want other people to get treated like this. I would recommend moving out of this state. All right, well, this will be a lot of fun. As you can tell, I look terrible right now. I've been extraordinarily sick for 7 days because they left me in the jail with no towel or blanket or anything to cover myself up. I was super sick, and I told them that, and they refused.
It seems like you might be speaking out against ICE then. They're Whistling Diesel.
Me, so might be going after some people. Well, we are. But I wanted to make this update video because I was arrested again at the Nashville airport upon arriving to America. I was gone for a little while, and my legal team they informed me that there would be a second arrest to take me to jail because I had a second vehicle with a license plate in Montana that I bought in Tennessee. There's 2 cars I bought in Tennessee. I didn't even know this until now because they told me. They're going to try arresting me again for that one. Oh. But we know ahead of time. It's like they were so nice and gave us a warning, hey, you're going to get arrested for that one too. So they're going to arrest me twice. I'm getting arrested more than the average murder. My lawyer let me know this time. He found out from them. So we wanted to be cooperative. So my legal team told me that the DA told them I would not be arrested upon entering America and we could amicably go into the jail and just take care of things smoothly. And instead, what they did is they sent an entire team of police officers to the Nashville airport.
By the way, I want to preface this. I do not trust him not to lie or not know what he's talking about and misrepresent something. So when he says they told us like I could turn myself in, I wasn't going to be arrested at the airport, just show up. I don't trust that unless he's got it in writing.
To arrest me at customs, and my girlfriend was left there alone without a ride home. It's shameful. It's bull. It is a waste of time and resources. There has been over $500,000 spent in this.
Also, the girlfriend left there at home without a ride home is a fucking non-issue. I mean, he's probably got 30 people on his goddamn payroll. He's a millionaire. Like, she wasn't left there without a ride, okay?
Entire thing over less than a $35,000 tax bill. It is absolutely disgraceful to the American public. Where I left off last time, I was taking spent in this entire thing over less than a $35,000 tax bill. It is.
He says it like that's nothing. But do you know what the government would do to us if we owed $35,000? I get it. Wealthy people usually get away with this, owing like a shit ton of money. My dad got threatened with arrest over like $1,200 one time on a tax bill. Get the fuck out of here. Had agents show up at her house and shit and try to intimidate him over like $1,200. It's $35,000.
Absolutely disgraceful to the American public. Where I left off last time, I was taken to court for the gag order, which I didn't make an update on because at the time we were in the middle of some.
You were gagged.
But since they have decided to throw another punch.
It's only a partial gag order, by the way.
I have no problem making this video. Like I said, I love to play ninja.
I'm glad I'm in Pennsylvania because paying taxes gives me hops. Yeah. So the only good thing about Tennessee, I will say this. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way. The one good thing I'll say about Tennessee is we have a high sales tax, but we don't pay like income tax and shit like that, right? So you pay 10% or 9.7% sales tax on most goods. It's a lot lower. It's like 3 something for like groceries and shit. But most goods are at 9.7%. It really sucks when you go to buy a vehicle. But luckily, if you buy a used vehicle, they let you write down the amount, whatever amount you want. I have a buddy from Virginia. I didn't know this is a thing until I made a friend from Virginia and we started working on the road together. He has to pay taxes on his vehicle every fucking year. Like we pay ours as sales tax just once. And then the next time you renew your tag, you pay $24. They take an evaluation of his truck every fucking year. And every year when he goes gets tags, he pays taxes on it again. Like we don't do that here. We pay it once. That's it. Next time you renew your tags is $24. The next time you pay taxes is when someone else buys it or you buy another vehicle, which is good.
Fairly, and I love to be a reasonable person, but when you...
Also, when you buy a used vehicle, you put down the amount you want. So I've bought a ton of vehicles that they needed repair or didn't have an engine or I had to fix them up or they were, whatever. A ton of vehicles for $1,000. So many vehicles.
Punches, you need to expect them back. I went to court for the gag order. The judge was actually very fair, and she determined that I was allowed to talk about what I want to talk about unless it's in a sealed case of things that are not quite ready to be talked about because they haven't been released yet. So I've been able to say what I want to say, which is great.
The reason they argued for this sealed stuff is apparently they came about this information in a semi-unique way, and they've got ongoing cases against other people that they've come across this information, and they don't want them to hide or try to obfuscate the information in the way they busted him for these other cases they got going on.
Great. I was just waiting for some things to be leveled within my legal team in the courts. They were trying to figure things out. They were told that I would not be arrested upon entering the airport, and that was not true. They arrest me at the airport. They take me 2 hours to rush.
Do you work on the road?
Traffic to the jail. They were nice enough to take me straight to the Rutherford.
I used to work shutdowns and shit. Is the only reason I asked. That's what I did. Power plant shutdowns. Worked for GE for years.
County jail, that's where this was. Instead of booking me the Nashville one and then like transporting me there later. I think there were 6 police officers just to take me there in different cars, etc. My bail was another $25,000. This would wreck.
You guys don't know this. I've told this story, but some of you guys don't know this. Mariah got the most expensive ticket out of both. I've gotten some expensive tickets. Mariah got like a $700 goddamn speeding ticket. So she was once a year, my son Ollie, he's got like development issues, so development delay. and it's because he had these cysts on the front lobe of his brain that ruptured when he was a couple years old. They formed when he was in the womb. They ruptured when he was a couple years old, and it has delayed his speech and motor skills and stuff like that. So once or twice a year, we have to take him to the Children's Hospital in Knoxville. It's like a 2-hour drive, and it's Knoxville, traffic, shit like that. And he goes down there. She was headed down there with him, and this was at a time where I used to drive it most of the time, but for whatever reason, she was going alone. She goes alone all the time now, but when we first did this, she didn't like the traffic and shit like that. So she was driving alone with Oliver, and Oliver also, part of his developmental delays and issues with his brains is he just randomly gets car sick, right? Just randomly. So he'll be completely fine and talking to you. Yep, I'll be in Quebec, but I hate G. Yeah, I don't want you to say who you work for. I've worked for Alstom, GE, CB&I. I've worked for, what was the name of that? Bechtel. I've worked for tons of companies and power plants, but GE's who I stayed with well, you know how shutdown work is. I'll work for GE for 2 seasons or whatever, and then I'll work for, a different company every time I'm laid off. So it is what it is. Anyways. Oliver gets randomly car sick. Thank you for the donation. And he'll just be fine, but something triggers it, whatever. So he pukes while they're headed into Knoxville, just at the start of Knoxville where the 75 cutoff is. That's also a construction zone. The speed limit goes from 70, and it was 45. And she was running 79 in a 45 in the back seat, swerving all over the road, trying to clean puke off Oliver. She didn't even know she was getting pulled over. All right, the trooper hit her, saw her for speeding, hit her with a laser. She's pulling over because she's about to wreck because there's puke going everywhere, and she's trying to clean it up with napkins. So she pulls over, has no idea. She's like wiping Oliver down. He didn't even turn on his lights. He pulls up behind her. She thinks that he's coming to check on her because she just pulled over on the side of the road, and he's knocking on the window. And she's like, oh, sorry. She's fucking freaking out. She's like, oh, sorry, trying to clean up Ollie. He's like, you know how fast you were going? And she's like, what? She didn't even know she's being pulled over for a speeding ticket. So she got 77, 79. He didn't cut her any slack on it. He didn't fucking say anything about Oliver screaming and crying and covered in puke. He always cries when he pukes, like most kids. He didn't say anything about Mariah freaking out and crying or them being on the side of the road and being unsafe. He fucking, he didn't cut her any slack whatsoever. And ended up writing the ticket. So I'm freaking out. This is a big fucking ticket, $700 and some dollars, $800. I can't remember what it was. It was a ridiculous fucking ticket, right? So I'm freaking out for it, but she just wants to pay it and be gone with it. She's crying. She didn't want to tell me. It's a big deal, right? It's a lot of money to us. So I'm making her take it to court. I'm like, fuck it. Thank you, legend. I'm like, fuck it. We're taking it to court. Maybe we can get a reduction. Maybe we can get something. Maybe we can get driving school, something to make it cheaper. I'm not giving them fucking $700-$800. That's fucking insane, right? Maybe, or set it up on payments. Tell them you could pay, I just don't want to hand over all this money. Tell them you pay $100 a month, something. So she is terrified of court and confronting people and people of power. It's not good. She's so nervous. I have to drive her down there. I think I did a video for the stream at the time. I had to drive her down there. She's shaking. She can't eat that morning. She's already in tears going in. Well, she wants me to go. And she's like, can you just talk? And I'm like, I don't think they'll let me talk, but I'll be there, in support, whatever. I'll be around you. No one's going to hurt you or attack you or yell at you, right? It's a pretty fucking standard. Now we've been to court a bunch because our crazy ex-neighbor. But at the time, she was very nervous. We get there, and it's COVID protocol. COVID protocol. And because my name is not listed, they won't even let me in the building. An officer stops me outside and says, are you a lawyer? I said, no. Are you listed on this docket? No. Go back to the car. So Mariah's crying while this officer's scanning her in through the metal detector, freaking out. She's literally shaking, having to confront these people. I'm walking back out oh no, I don't know what to do. You got to be at court in 8 minutes or something, when court starts. And I'm thinking, God damn, I'm going to be here forever. She's going to come out. She's going to be crying. She might get so hysterical, the judge can't even communicate with her, and they have to fucking take a recess or some shit. Mariah gets worked up easily. So, 10 minutes later, she comes back out, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she opens the door, and I was like, did they cancel it? They reschedule it? What? She's like, no. And I'm like, what fucking happened? And she's starting to tear up again. And I'm like, what happened? What do I have to pay the ticket? What happened? What happened? She just starts fucking bawling. And I can't understand what the fuck she's saying, right? I have no idea what the fuck she's saying. But finally she gets it out that the cop fucking died. The cop died of COVID. The cop died of COVID between writing the ticket. So I guess that's karma. I don't know. So now I always aggravate her and tell her that she's on a watch list for having that state trooper killed. Between court day, the cop fucking died. They had to dismiss the case. They called her name like right off the bat, and they're like, sorry to inform you that officer will not be with us. He passed away. Case dismissed, blah, blah, blah. We didn't have to pay a dime. But it was stupid expensive. It was like $700 or $800 because it was the speeding. It was a construction zone, automatically doubles. So any fine you get in Tennessee, I'm sure other states are like this. Any fine you get in Tennessee, whatever the monetary amount is, they automatically double it in a construction zone. So if you get speeding or crossing the yellow line or failure to signal or whatever, if it's $50, it becomes $100 if it's a construction zone, whether they're present or not. Whether they're present or not. So there you go. Watch out for construction zones. But I don't know. I guess it was karma. I don't know. I always still aggravate her that they're looking for her after she had that cop killed. Anyways, back to the video. I've told enough stories.
Me in the Nashville one and then like transporting me there later. I think there were 6 police officers just to take me there in different cars, etc. My bail was another 25 grand. This would wreck any normal person.
We have Cody's location. He is pulling up to the jail right now.
We were joking on the way to the courthouse. Like, I wish I knew where he was. I'd go fucking slash his tires. He wouldn't be showing up. They'd throw it out. We were joking a lot about it. So whoever the NSA guy who monitors, listens to my phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and types up his reports, those were all jokes. I don't know what Mariah did. I hadn't seen her for 3 or 4 days before the court happened. She kind of went on a sabbatical and just disappeared, so maybe she's involved. I am not.
Now, it is currently 6 o'clock. It could take anywhere from like 2 hours to 16 hours. So.
I just got his bond.
How much is bond?
25,000.
So, what was last time? 20?
20.
Oh, he's pulling up right now. What kind of car is it? This is sheriff's. Yeah, okay, so they have police.
Should I just block the gate, pull up?
Stop! Yeah, Rutherford County Sheriff car. There it is. Hey, Cody.
I think him not taking it seriously like this is probably going to make his experience worse, but whatever. He's allowed to.
All right. There we go. Second arrest because they aren't happy with the state on my license plate. So, 25.
That's not true. So that's like the least fucking true. You know what I mean? Like, they aren't happy with the state on my license plate. You bought a car, and he made a video, literally said, like, everybody does it. It's to avoid paying taxes here. That's why I have a business. He literally gives up the whole plot. He's like, that's why I have a business in fucking, wherever. Where did I say it was? It's not Minnesota. Montana. That's why I have a business in Montana, so I don't have to pay these ridiculous taxes. Like, you've already admitted to it, bro.
Police officers, lawyers, manpower involved, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they arrested me at the airport while my girlfriend was left alone at the airport. We're not sure if the DA lied or whatever, but we were sure that we could cooperate and come back to the airport because they let us know, hey, there might be a warrant. So anyways, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm suing the out of the police department. So when Donald Trump says I'm going to bomb the out of them, I'm sick. I asked for blank.
Here's what I wonder. I wonder with a more strenuous. So he was out of the country. His girlfriend is like Russian or some shit. He was out of the country. I wonder if the more strenuous immigration regulations forced their hand when he come in and it showed that he had a warrant for his arrest, and they, like something the Trump administration has implemented, forced them to do the arrest immediately rather than letting him turn himself in.
Blanket 4 times. I was shivering my ass off. They said we cannot give you a blanket.
Lots of people do it, but this is the warning shot, okay? What they're doing with this, they could care less about him. They could have just told him he'd have paid his $35,000 and probably, never even made a video about it. They want this coverage. They want people to be warned, like, hey, if you're doing this, we're coming after you. Or stop doing it or something.
So they wouldn't give me a blanket. I'll freeze my ass off, so I'm going to sue them. Anyways, welcome back to America. Great warm welcome. I'll get the out of this place.
Anything else? How was your time in jail? How's your time in jail?
No, actually, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I went and picked you up. What did I do?
I gave you a shout out on the back of the cop car on the body cam.
Oh, yeah?
The camera facing the back seat.
On body cam? I got a body cam shout out?
Yeah. Frankly, the fact that I was in jail, which by the way, it was the coldest week in Tennessee this week. The jail was extremely cold. Usually I wouldn't care. I would just go in there and do a workout. But as I said, I was super sick. I had 105 fever. I passed out at home after getting back. They refused to give me a towel or blanket after asking 5+ times. I said, I'm going to sue the out of you. We have dozens of people, tens of thousands of dollars, just hundreds of thousands of dollars now involved in this, all over less than a $30,000 tax bill. So this is because of another.
Dude, I'm serious. I'm a winner, dude. I get stupid competitive to the point where I might do that. I might leave someone in a relationship if they fucking beat me too much at a game.
Montana license plate on the G-Wagon that
The first time Mariah come over and hung out with my parents, we played a game called Rook. I don't know if you guys know the card game Rook. We play it a really different way than the box says or most people does, but still, it's the basic premise is the same. The one and only time I made Mariah partner with my dad, he made her cry. She didn't understand. They lost. Ended up getting sets. Went negative like 180 fucking points, and he made Mariah cry. So we're competitive.
bought in another county in Tennessee. So instead of just taking care of all this in one easy package or something, they decided to arrest me again for another license plate. Obviously, we've determined we know this. They're of all this, and because of another Montana license plate on the G-Wagon that I destroyed that was bought in another county in Tennessee. So instead of just taking care of all this.
So that tells us right now that it was two different counties. Both counties have to do their thing, right? Sorry.
In one easy package or something, they decided to arrest me again.
Oh, yeah, sure, Dr. J.
We've determined, we know this, they're trying to prove a point. They don't care if I'm just landing in America and I haven't even gone home to unpack my suitcase yet. They don't care. There's no line that has been drawn, and they've proven that they're not willing to work with us. Sorry, there's a lot to unload here. It's been really hard to think.
I really do wonder if there's stricter regulations now, because Tennessee is like this is the first state that's going to implement all this fucking bullshit from the Trump administration with immigration. We're supposed to be like the project state where we show all the other states how good it can be without immigrants or some shit. And I do wonder if there's something where they wanted to let him turn himself in, but the new rules say you got a warrant, you show up at the fucking our airport, boom, you're done. Especially on an international flight.
Fairly sick. By the way, this is so funny. The gag order that they tried pushing through. I went to court and the media was there. They submitted requests and they had a news team there and they were filming everything. And I had no clue what to expect. This was like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. They had my videos playing.
The way we play is with the big bird, which is the rook, and then a little bird, which is the black 2. Yeah, it's the only, yeah. I don't know. It's something I guess my family passed down. But still, most of the rules apply.
On TV, my Instagram post where I could say I'm going to bring the killdozer to court, all that, they put it in front of everyone, and the news team would like pan over to me to get my reaction as I'm watching these videos. And they brought Curtis Ritchie, the special agent who was trying to push all this on me, the guy responsible for all of this. I know you're watching this, Curtis. They brought him in front of everyone, and I recognized him, and I'm like, that's funny. That's the guy who put the handcuffs so tight in the video when I was arrested the first time. Okay, the cuffs are tightened up. Are you unlocking those or tighten them up?
I'm tightening them. I'm putting them where they won't tighten more.
Okay.
He doesn't understand this. You guys know what the cop's doing here, right? We've watched enough police videos. He says those are tight. Handcuffs are not made to be comfortable. It sucks, right? He said those are tight. Are you tightening them or loosening them? And he says I'm making them where they won't tighten up anymore. Not I'm tightening them. Cody Whistling Diesel is trying to say, oh, he's tightening them to the maximum extent where they won't tighten anymore. He's double locking them to where when you put pressure on them, they won't tighten more. Because when they set you in a car and you put your weight on it, a lot of times they tighten on down. So basically, he's securing them to where they won't tighten more. He's not penalizing you in some way. I don't know. This guy's fucking talking out of his ass a couple times already. Listen. In his head, he's thinking, oh, the officer just said he's tightening them to where he can't even tighten them no more. They're the tightest they could possibly be. That's not what he's doing.
That's funny. That's the guy who put the handcuffs so tight in the video when I was arrested the first time. Okay, the cuffs are tightened up. Are you unlocking those or tightening them up?
I'm tightening them. I'm putting them where they won't tighten more.
Okay. And refused to talk to me. I was like trying to make jokes and ask questions. He wouldn't talk to me. He was super like standoffish. And then they brought him up on stage for the cross-examination to try to get this gag order against me. Every time something would play in my video that he didn't disagree with, he'd like shake his head and like look at the judge. Like he was super irritated by it. And I'm just amazed at the personal vendetta or the amount of effort that this guy is willing to put in just to prove a point. Now, I'm sure that people are...
I can tell you right now, the cop doesn't have a personal event. He didn't write the warrant. He didn't do the investigation. He doesn't give a fuck about it. He probably cares about, the death threats and the shit that he got and the doxing and all that shit that your community did, sure.
Are scared because of what's happening to me and they're trying to like title their vehicles in Tennessee and all this, but let me tell you this, they've only tried to go after me for the cars that I bought in Tennessee, just so you guys know. So this is all over 2 license plates that registered in Montana, and Montana does not...
Bought them in Tennessee, lives in Tennessee, resides in Tennessee 90% of the time, business in Tennessee, but bought a post office business in Montana, and that's where he registers his vehicles. Like, you already gave up the game, dude.
Charge you sales tax just by chance. I just found that out. That's the update where we're at with things, but I can only over 2 license plates that registered in Montana, and Montana does not charge you sales tax just by chance. I just found that out. That's the update.
He's now trying to say, I just found that I had no idea that Montana didn't do sales tax. You said in your first video that was specifically the reason you registered them there.
Where we're at with things.
That's actually the reason you got an LLC there. That's the only reason. You said it in the video. The only reason you have a business, an LLC in Montana, is to register vehicles. And you learned that from someone else. This used to be the scam. Like if you do like exotic car, it's not going to make that big a difference on a fucking, a pickup truck, a used car, minivan, or whatever you buy. But if you're buying cars that are literally multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's a substantial savings if it wasn't breaking the law.
I can only recommend for you all, if you are someone who also has some vehicles registered in Montana, number one, if they're not purchased in Tennessee, I think you're totally fine. And number two, don't buy cars in Tennessee anymore. I cannot recommend enough just moving to another state. The way that I've been treated in the state is absolutely horrendous. I've been to 49 states, and I've never been treated this badly. I've been to Dubai, who has some of the strictest laws in the world, and somehow I got arrested in free America first in Nashville, Tennessee, twice. And
what did you try to cheat Dubai out of taxes? I'm sure they're super strict. Right? If you're cheating them out of, like, I went to Iraq once, and I've also been shot at in the U.S. I could say, one time I was in Iraq and didn't even get shot at, and I've been shot at in the U.S., the safest country in the world.
treated with absolute disrespect. So yeah, that's where we're at with things. I'll be honest, guys, it has been just sad and pathetic. It's sad and pathetic. That's all it is. I would much rather be spending my time on other things. This has cost a tremendous amount of money. As always, the mugshot tees are now available. I have an orange jumpsuit on because that's all they would give me to warm up, is short sleeves. As much as I sound like a baby, like I said, I haven't had solid food in a whole week now. I've never passed out before either.
Oh shit. As a recovering alcoholic, have some dignity from someone who loves tax. That's right.
Treated like absolute garbage.
Do it all you can, right? And sometimes there's a gray area. But, like, to come on and brag about it after getting arrested, dude, the best thing he could have done is shut up and pay his goddamn taxes, which I'm sure he's milking this for views, too, right? It's got 3 million views. These videos are going to cover his tax bill, plus any other lawyer fees, anything else.
Absolutely disgraceful humans in the Tennessee Department of Revenue. I think it's going to make a difference when people see these videos and they realize that Tennessee is not all it's cracked up to be. I don't want other people to get treated like this, so I can't vouch for it. I would recommend moving out of this state. Also, you totally have the right to send Curtis Ritchie or the Tennessee Department of Revenue a letter and ask why they're treating their citizens so poorly. As I said, they have not given me any notice to pay my taxes. They did not say I owed anything. What they did is they secretly put together an investigation over the course of 3 years. A bunch of absolute disgraceful people in charge of it.
He's mad and saying secretly because they received a tip, apparently, and they talked to his accountant, and the accountant's like, oh, well, we can just fix that. And they're like, no, it's beyond that, kind of. Like, we don't want you to just tell him to go pay taxes. No one will even know what the fuck he's talking about. It's kind of beyond that. He's clearly doing this for a purpose, and so are a bunch of other people.
This. I hope they get everything that's coming to them. We're not going to stop. This is definitely going to escalate a lot more. We tried to play fairly. We tried to work with them to go turn myself into the jail when they said they had a second warrant, and instead they arrested me at the airport, left my girlfriend there alone. First time to America, they made her get a ride on her own. So this is absolutely pathetic, and I had to pay another $25,000 in bail money, so that puts us around $45,000 just in bail money. I have a legal team that's constantly on the clock. They have, I'm sure, a team that's constantly on the clock charging you guys your personal tax dollars a lot of extra money as well, so you're paying for this. So I hope the public is happy with how Tennessee is using your tax dollars, and then not to mention the fact that a lot of people are going to be moving out that were wealthy and influential that would have helped this state a lot. So I've had some talks with governors and
yes, he has a Russian girlfriend.
Politicians related to this. They're not happy about it either. So
he was also in the first video was talking about he recreated the killdozer, right? The famous killdozer. He recreated the killdozer, and he was talking about, oh, I'll just take that down to the courthouse and settle this and blah blah blah. Like those types of jokes probably didn't help any.
Really hope we can work something out. I'm kind of beyond the point of working something out. I'm definitely considering a few more aggressive tactics now. So I would much rather make more.
Granby, Colorado.
Rough month. I was also scammed out of $40,000 in Dubai by a guy named Peter at this Hot Wheels dealership here. He's absolutely freaking out, and his dealership is going to get shut down. I don't want to say a really rough month. I was also scammed out of $40,000 in Dubai by a guy named Peter at this Hot Wheels dealership here. He's absolutely freaking out, and his dealership is going to get shut down. I don't want to sound like I have a victim mentality or I'm like a negative person, but when you're well known on the internet, you become such a target to people who don't.
He's so fucking dumb. Like clearly, he's had a whole. I'm not saying that Whistling Diesel doesn't work hard. I'm sure he did. He fucking editing videos and posting and doing this, and sometimes that can be a lot of work. And hiring the right people, having the right people around him, coming up with video ideas, doing this, doing that. He made a video to his following, basically telling him to stop whining. The only reason you're not a millionaire is because you're not working hard enough. That's what I did. If you work hard enough, you can be a millionaire like me. But instead, you spend all your time fucking bitching.
don't want to see you do well. As much as that sounds like I'm saying I'm all that or something, it's just that you become a target the more well-known you are. I've heard my friends talk about this, like the amount of lawsuits or problems you'll have, but definitely starting to notice it now. So all we can do is show them it's not such a good idea. I'll do my best to keep you guys filled in. I know there's multiple court dates coming up. My legal team has kind of just taken control over this. So I will say I'm very impressed with my legal team. They've been kicking ass. There's 4 of them. They know what they're doing, I gotta say. With the gag order, I had a First Amendment attorney who has written entire books on it. When it was his turn to go up and talk, the whole courtroom shut up. Like, it was intense. So I have some good people.
They do that when everybody talks.
But this is just
literally. It's mandated by the judge. When everybody talks, they're the only person talking.
pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic and disgraceful to the people that are working in the government in the state of Tennessee. So hopefully they can have some good people out there who treat the public fairly again. Thank you all for watching.
I've been dying to comment this as a Missouri license office owner. I remember we talked about this. I didn't realize they were privately owned. Tons of people here do this, but drum roll. South Dakota state that gave us Christy Nome. When the DOR finally figured this out, they started going after all those people with South Dakota license plates. There's another one. So some states, Tennessee will, but some states won't issue plates to side-by-sides. Some states do four-wheelers and won't. Some do dirt bikes and won't, depending on if you have the brake light, tail light, horn, all that shit that's required, right? Headlight. There's another kind of gray area that people are abusing. Well, they'll register their ATV in like a state that lets them use it, or their side-by-side or whatever in a state that lets them use it, and then they'll drive it in their home state, and a lot of times those people get in trouble, right, for not being a resident. Their license never matches where the vehicle's registered out of, and there's states are trying to cut down on that.
Brady has been helping upload while I've been sick. He posted on the WD1000 channel, and you guys liked it, so he's going to be helping with that a lot more. We have a great series coming up where we build these wood cars out of trees, and all we used was trees, so that's going to be a super entertaining series. It took a ton of work, and it was really fun. We had my grandpa and all of our families in it, so it was your guys' right to know that this happened. They're not going to like that I made this video at all. They're absolutely not going to like it, but they pulled the first punch and the second punch while I tried to work amicably with them, so it's my right to say what
They pulled the punches?
I want to say. This is America. Yeah, thought I'd fill you guys in. So thank you for watching. I'll do my best to keep you updated.
He's the cop who made the handcuffs so tight on me. In the first video, you guys all saw that, right? Send him a nasty letter. Ask him why he treats Whistling Diesel this way. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I wanted to see this. Let me see if I can find it now. I saw a clip from the Necessary Conversation that was basically, here it is, threatened to quit the show. MAGA parents threatened to quit the show. I saw Haley giving them hell the other day in a clip, dude. Giving them hell about it.
Growing up, thought that you were this person. I never thought that you would be like this.
Well, that's too bad. I never thought you'd turn out like this either.
Why would I believe something that just to say to you and Chad, yes, when I don't think it.
I literally, like, never in a million years did I think both of you.
The two of you did not turn out well for me.
I never thought you would support.
I think you're both insane.
Something so grotesque in all my life. And it's disappointing. You are disappointing.
You are disappointing to me.
I'm done.
No, Mom, don't be done. This is part of the hard conversations. This is what we're doing the show for.
Yeah, Mom's done. You know what? I'm done too. Let's shut this on.
To sit here and just continuously
shut it off. We're done.
Make excuses for Donald Trump and all of his name and all these files and what he's done. It's grotesque.
The name of the episode is How Will MAGA Defend Trump This Time, I think.
Click us off.
I said if he is committed, if they find out it's for real, then he's not my president.
It is for real. That's what these documents are.
You believe that right now. I don't believe it yet. I do not.
Again, back to the goat fucking example. Hypothetically, if someone is accused of having sex with goats by over 30 different people, they regularly denied it, but also dropped very public hints on the Howard Stern show about how much he liked to have sex with goats for decades, and ran a goat pageant to find the best looking goats to fuck, and was best friends with someone who got convicted of fucking goats and trafficking goats to friends all over the world who also like to fuck goats, and his name was in the classified Goat Fucker Chronicles 5,000 times, and he wished other goat fuckers in prison. What do you think the odds are that person is a goat fucker?
Not believe it just because his name's in the file.
Click the off button, Mary.
Hang on, Dad, hang on.
We don't need to put up with this shit.
Put up with what shit? The Epstein files?
I just never, growing up, thought that you were.
Oh, I knew that was going to be a bad one. That's the one we just watched. I want to see if I can find that clip of Haley like literally flicking out
between Epstein and Elon Musk.
We'll go through them.
Times for them to meet on his island and have parties, and Elon Musk say,
See some of those emails. We don't know. How can we know, Chad? How can we know?
You're bringing up an issue that's not worth bringing up.
By the way, how many times have they said Clinton and Obama? Obama's not even fucking in it. How many times have they said Clinton and Obama are in the fucking Epstein files? But now they're like, we don't know. Somebody could have faked. How do you know they're real? How do you know? How would anybody know? Oh, Bill Clinton's in there? Yeah, and they're not going in front of Congress?
It's moot.
how can we know? But that attitude, like Haley and I can apply it to anything we want to then.
Literally anything.
Do it.
So how do we know Donald Trump won the election?
You put it on everything you put on this show that you can't prove. You pull that bullshit.
And when I say
you do it.
His name is in the Epstein files thousands of times.
You're a communist.
You guys are insane. You're insane.
You agree with that at least, right?
Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files along with a bunch of other people. Yes.
Yeah, put them all in jail. Every one of them.
If it's true, yes.
And I say you put every one of those women in jail if it isn't true.
Why?
For false accusation.
Oh, he's saying if they falsified stuff.
If these women didn't get and all that bullshit, once it's all proven, I think they should all be locked up and the keys thrown away.
Your brain is busted. To think that someone would come forward after being a child of a survivor of child, to think that somebody would come forward for fame and fortune.
Give me a name of one and tell me what happened to her.
Virginia Giuffre.
I love the MAGA argument that how come nobody ever said nothing till he ran for president? They did for 30 years. You still didn't give a fuck. You throw out this fucking claim that like, well, maybe if they'd have brought it up before he's running for president, I would believe it. Bullshit. He's had them follow him around his whole fucking life.
Ray, yourself.
Whoa.
Do you believe the emails between?
You're missing the entire.
I'm tired of this.
No, we're not moving on. We're not moving on because he's
They are protecting the.
I think this is the clip.
It's Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. They're all in there.
They are trying.
There we go. Joe Biden, Barack Obama, they're all in there. They're all. Really? Are they?
Protecting the criminals.
The problem is it's Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. They're all in there.
Well, they're not in there, right? Well, there's two mentions to Obama. One of them was his aide that had communications with Epstein, but she didn't actually even have these communications with Epstein until after she was fired from the Obama administration. And another one is, I can't remember the other one, but it's also like a non-issue, like someone slightly connected to Obama that was doing something and they were just having to be talking about it on the news.
They are trying to punish the victims.
That's why they're hiding it.
They're trying to punish the survivors for coming forward by giving all of their information and doxing them. And they are protecting the.
I'm not protecting anybody.
You are, yeah, you are. I support Donald Trump. I don't care if you children. That's what you are.
Guess what? You just put words in my mouth, and I don't appreciate it.
Do you support Donald Trump? Do you still support Donald Trump?
Have a single fact to back up.
Do you still support Donald Trump after all of this shit?
Stop yelling at me.
You're just a bullshitter.
Stop yelling.
Do you still support that child after all this shit?
I do not believe he did all of that. I don't believe it.
So the answer is
yes, I still support him. Just say it.
as our president, I do not believe he did.
You don't believe
that
evidence. You don't believe evidence.
No more than we do.
Let me ask you this.
It is waking people up, right? It's not like they're all turning their nose up to it and being like, oh, he can't do this. Between ICE and all this stuff going on and Bongino and the whole fucking clusterfuck that is the people he appointed to be around him and how they're always fucking wrong and nobody can afford groceries or their power bills and the Epstein file. Like, it is waking some people up. It's just not these deeply rooted people.
Let's say he didn't do anything. Let's say you're right. Why does his name appear in these pages thousands of times?
Flight logs, the times he flew up and down from Florida to New York. He never went to the island. We know that. I still think that he turned state's evidence on some of this stuff. And
actually, we don't know that. That's just Trump's claim, right? They haven't proven that he did or didn't go to the island.
People too. I really do.
You're missing the entire.
Why is Donald Trump and his Department of Justice hiding the people that did these crimes with Epstein, but they're putting the names of the victims right out front so we can all see it?
Like
I've got a good video to follow this one up.
Figure it out.
There's no figuring it out. Mom, you're not getting this.
Those black things will be erased and we'll be able to see it all.
You are
there. So she thinks that they're actively working on this in the background, investigations, and they're going to eventually remove those redactions and those people will be arrested. Donald Trump's telling people like, I think it's time we move on. Who cares? Really?
Are not getting this.
We're the ones not getting it. That's a joke.
They put out pages and pages and pages.
30 million. And we're supposed to read through that in 2 days. Okay.
Not 30 million.
3 million.
But they are hiding another 3 million documents that will never come out. Todd Blanche said that. They are done releasing documents, and this is the end of it. And he gave a press conference where he was very content.
And that's against the law. Aren't you guys the law and order? Follow the law. Do what they say. We got to follow the law. Just comply. Comply or die.
Being a little asshole. Yeah, and that's all we're going to do. He's such a piece of shit. I hate him. The question I'm asking, and you're not giving me any kind of an answer, is in these documents they released, they have hidden.
We have given you an answer. Don't ask it again.
I'm asking it right now.
No, you're not.
They have hidden the identities of men that are doing these crimes with Epstein. Yet they have revealed victims, photos, names, and addresses. Why do you think they did that?
They will reveal those names in time. Give it time.
In time. It's over. Todd Blanche said it's over. They're not revealing anything else. Why is Donald...
For some reason in her head, she's got it set, like, give it time. This is it. They're trying to move on. They said this is the last time they're going to fucking address it or do anything. I do have a good follow-up video to this, and that is all the people claiming that, like Kash Patel claiming that there's no proof whatsoever. There's nothing to investigate. There's nothing there. It isn't there. If it was there, I'd start an investigation today, and I'd arrest people. Just watch. This is after just a day or two with the Epstein files. People have already found this.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Yes, and they're supposed to put... they can't retract names for embarrassment or political gain or any of that, right? It's only supposed to be the victims. They've done a shit ton of redacting perpetrators or just regular fucking people that weren't victims, and they're supposed to explain all that and file it with the registrar and to Congress.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no.
Dude, curling's fucking cool as shit.
The information that we have.
In the files.
The information that Kash Patel has. He's been over it. They looked at it. They went through it. They've had agents dedicated to it. There's no information at all that implicates anybody.
In the case file.
Here's a file.
I'll be up tomorrow morning because I've got to do, I got to help Ollie with his online school, his remote digital learning. They're still out.
Chain between prosecutors in Manhattan and federal prosecutors, and they're arranging a discussion about an investigation into Mr. Leon Black. Leon Black is a billionaire associate of Jeffrey Epstein who once paid Epstein $158 million for tax advice, expensive tax advice. Okay, back to our email chain. In this email chain, prosecutors have a call where they discuss a victim related to the Epstein.
Who is Ronan Farrow's dad? Oh, Woody Allen? I didn't even think about that.
Maxwell case. And the victim has identified other potential traffickers, including Leon Black. Epstein and Maxwell.
Leon Black should be in fucking prison right goddamn now. Listen to this. Leon Black.
Introduced the victim to Leon Black by name. Black was very violent, tore her clothes off, bit her vagina, forced sex toys into her. She needed medical attention. She was bleeding. The notes say, redacted, District Attorney of New York, do not doubt her allegations against Jeffrey Epstein and Leon Black. They believe she was also abused by Staley. They have not found any independent corroboration. This line also stood out to me. It says, redacted, falsely denied extortion of Black that was recorded. So falsely denied, meaning it's true that extortion of Leon Black was recorded. That's an interesting line, I think. So the relationship...
Did you hear that? Listen.
Was recorded. That's an interesting line.
Falsely denied extortion of Leon Black that was recorded. So someone falsely denied that there was extortion material of Leon Black, recorded extortion material. If they falsely denied, that means there is extortion material that's recorded with Leon Black in it. Epstein introduced this, and this isn't the only victim, obviously. This was just one that's pretty easy to lay out. They ought to be investigating this motherfucker.
I think. So the relationship I'm seeing is that Jeffrey Epstein is trafficking at least one female victim in this instance, and other places in the files refer to other female victims he traffics to Leon Black. But anyway, Jeffrey Epstein introduces female victim to Leon Black. Leon Black allegedly rapes the female victim, and Leon Black is paying Epstein lots of money independent of this interaction. There are other similar allegations in the file. For example, Jeanne Christensen is a partner at this law firm, and she's writing to someone who's redacted. We don't know.
Oh, sweet, Fell Runner.
But in her email, she says, around 9:30 this morning, I received a call from a woman who told me she wanted to speak to me and said that Leon Black raped her violently years ago. The details she told me about what he did to her, what Black did to the victim who's calling the lawyer, are almost a perfect match about what my client told me. He violently bit down and so on. She does not know my client. This person is older and says it happened in 2001.
The same person keeps trying to join with all these different I love ice fucking names. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why?
Epstein's townhouse. If I've pieced the files together correctly, which I may not have, this is just my best guess, Christensen is the lawyer who represents the victim that the prosecutors are talking about here. Right. Christensen is saying there's another woman who has a story similar.
There's a separate woman that does not know my clients, that has no idea about this. They're not related. They're not friends. They don't know each other, who has a very similar story, almost exactly the same, about Epstein and Leon Black and her being sold to Leon Black by Epstein, the rape, the everything.
To what my client has, even though this other woman doesn't know my client. So how else, there's nothing publicly out there about the details with our client. There's no way she could know. So how else, other than this being real, would two independent women have a similar story about Leon Black? Like I said, we don't know who Christensen is writing to, but in the notes...
Oh, shit. I just saw this. Is that from Q Idiot? Thank you very much, brother. My light bill is whacked as well. This should make your electric bill seem... Thank you very much. That does make my electric bill seem normal. Thank you. My electric bill for the office tripled. It went from like around 100 to like 320, 330, something like that. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. That was from Q Idiot. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation.
Summarizing the call with Christensen, it's described as a proffer. So it's like an attorney is offering information to...
It was like fucking 50 minutes ago, but I just saw the notification.
Prosecutor. What I'm saying is, presumably the people who we don't know who are receiving this email, they are prosecutors. And they summarize the information as the victim, Christensen's client, met Black at Epstein's townhouse, alleged Black violent...
Victim was in her 30s at the time of the conduct, met Black at Epstein's New York townhouse sometime in the early 2000s, was working giving massages for a few months at Epstein's townhouse. Victim is supposed to be sending a photo of the woman who introduced her to Epstein, described as a blonde and young. She met Epstein at his office in his townhouse, and he knew that she needed money and was a single mother, and he talked to her about how he could help her out with her money problems. She says Epstein never forced himself on her. He tried to get her to take off her clothes, and when she said no, he didn't force it and still paid her $300 cash. She also gave massages to other men at the townhouse, including Black. She may have had sexual contact with others, not clear. Epstein introduced her to Black as someone who could help her get a job. He was introduced. By the way, Ryan Upchurch is running with this narrative right now. It's about the Epstein files. I'm not just like saw a squirrel over here. That because Epstein was like, do we know anybody at Vanderbilt Hospital? I need to get a nurse hired. It was probably one of his victims, you dumb motherfucker. He's like, oh, I told you, Vanderbilt's in with Epstein. No, this is what he did. He made things happen for people and used that power over them. So when he's saying, like, do we know anybody high up at Vanderbilt? I need to get a nurse hired on there. It's probably somebody from that area that wants to work there that did something for a victim, you motherfucker. Anyways. As someone who could help her get a job, he was introduced as Black. She remembers details of where they were in the townhouse, where they met, describes clearly the room where she gave the massages. Black allegation. She was giving him a massage. He was on his stomach. At some point, he turned around and said it was his turn to give her a massage. He got her on the back of the table, recalls having difficulty breathing, was violently sexually assaulted, including being bitten. Afterwards, he... something and dressed as if nothing happened. Blank asked whether she was paid for the massage. She doesn't know. After that, Black called her and asked to meet Blank. She thinks they met at the St. Regis Hotel. He talked to her about something about her debt, his family, etc. At some point, he gave her an envelope with $5,000 in it and said, hope this helps. He called her again, but she never met back up with him. She thinks they may have had lunch on one other occasion.
Sexually assaulted her. Leon Black, as a result of being sued by Christensen and her law firm Wigdor, Leon Black paid $62.5 million to avoid potential claims associated with Epstein's.
Leon Black entered into a settlement agreement with the Attorney General's Office of the U.S. Virgin Islands for $62.5 million to avoid potential claims associated with Epstein's horrific sexual misconduct.
What I'm saying is multiple women, at least 2 women, allege this pattern of fact.
But they don't have any evidence that anybody was ever trafficked by Epstein.
Against Leon Black, that the women met Leon Black through Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and that Black violently sexually assaulted them. And these allegations are not.
And he paid that to the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands to basically be like, I'm washing my hands of this. I don't want any future, stuff to come out. I know I've got probably ties and liabilities around this. I just want it to go away. It says, billionaire investor Leon Black struck a multi-million-dollar settlement with the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands to avoid any legal claims tied to Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking investigation. According to the settlement document obtained by CNN, Black agreed in January to pay the Virgin Islands government $62.5 million in cash in exchange. The Virgin Islands released Black from any current or future legal claims related to Jeffrey Epstein. The news was first reported in the New York Times. You don't pay that unless you committed crimes with Jeffrey Epstein. Imagine anybody else. Imagine if you guys found out that I paid the state of Tennessee $1 million so they wouldn't charge me with rape of a fucking minor. In the future, if that ever happened, or in the past, who knows? It may have happened, may not have happened. I just don't want the liability. You think I'm paying anybody that money if it didn't fucking happen? A portion of Black's cash payment, $15 million, will be established as a trust fund to sponsor projects such as counseling programs and mental health services, according to the document. Yeah, let's give $15 million to do mental health services for the kids they raped. As publicly reported, Mr. Black engaged and made payments to Jeffrey Epstein for legitimate financial advisory services. No, he didn't. He paid $125 million for tax advice, which, based on everything now known, he very much regrets. Whit Clay, a spokesman for Black, told CNN, consistent with the settlements of other major U.S. banks, Mr. Black resolved the U.S. Virgin Islands' potential claims arising out of the unintended consequences of those payments. So basically, he's like, I paid him a lot of money for tax advice. If he used any of that money to, fuck kids, I don't want to be held liable. I was just paying for taxes. There is no suggestion in the U.S. Virgin Islands settlement that Mr. Black was aware or participated in any misconduct. Black has faced a number of accusations and lawsuits over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. He has been publicly accused of rape in 3 lawsuits. Black has denied these allegations. His attorney has called one of the accusations categorically false and another full of vicious and defamatory lies. The third suit was dismissed by a state judge. But Black has been plagued by his connection to Epstein since the disgraced financier was arrested in 2019 on federal charges of sex trafficking of minors. Epstein died by suicide the same year while in federal custody. In 2021, an independent investigation of Black's connection to Epstein, commissioned by Apollo Global Management, the company he works for, the private equity company co-founded by Black in 1990, found no evidence that Mr. Black was involved in any way with Mr. Epstein's criminal activities at any time. However, the probe did find that Mr. Black's payments to Epstein totaled $158 million between 2012 for 5 years of tax advice. For 5 years of tax advice, he paid $158 million. In a 2020 letter to Apollo shareholders, Black expressed regret for his association with Epstein, but said their relationship only involved professional services, including estate planning and tax advice. Still, Black announced that he would step down as CEO of Apollo in 2021 amidst questions surrounding his connection to Epstein. At the time, Black said he planned to remain Apollo's largest shareholder and strongest supporter. Forbes estimates that Black is worth more than $10 billion currently.
random
wild, dude.
Made to an open tip line. There are some documents in the Epstein files where anyone can just call in and say any crazy story they want, and so there are a lot of outrageous things in the Epstein files. But this file, it's not that. These are two victims who allege this pattern of facts against Leon Black. They're taken seriously by the lawyer, Christensen, at her law firm, who decides to bring a lawsuit forward. And they're taken seriously by prosecutors, including federal prosecutors and New York prosecutors, who believe that the victim was abused by Jeffrey Epstein, Leon Black, and Staley. And I think, I'm not sure, I don't know that these cases line up. I just, it's the same lawyer, law firm, Leon Black. I think Leon Black is paying $62 million because of these allegations. So when Kash Patel says that there's no credible information in the Jeffrey Epstein files, that Epstein was trafficking women to anyone other than himself, that just doesn't seem right to me. I found this file I'm showing you by just clicking around the Jeffrey Epstein files at random, and I didn't even open that many. So if I stumble across what seems like, to me, a credible impression, credible evidence that Jeffrey Epstein is trafficking women to Leon Black, who is raping them, it makes me think there's probably a lot more information in the millions of pages of
anybody that comes in here and just drops the fucking HH in chat for no reason whatsoever, those people can get fucked.
And while I'm here, I want to point out, aren't they only supposed to be redacting the names of victims? Blank would treat her badly if Jeffrey Epstein reported to Blank that she wasn't good. One time Blank dragged her up the flight of stairs by her hair. She was
one time Blank dragged. So their definition of victims is anybody that could be harmed by this information, apparently. Why would you redact one time Blank dragged her up a flight of stairs by her hair? Who's the victim you're protecting?
Terrified of Blank? Are these names of victims here, really? Oh, and finally...
And literally, it said in the law they passed, they couldn't redact names to prevent embarrassment or loss of social status or political, ruin.
Legal liability is related to saying the word allegedly, and I've forgotten what I said in this video, but if I said anything like Leon Black did some illegal act, then allegedly, that implies retroactively to everything I've ever said about Leon Black, just in case he's litigious, allegedly he committed crimes or whatever, raped these women.
Allegedly.
Thanks for your time.
Allegedly.
Who, if anyone?
Fucking insane, dude. Kash Patel, we don't have any evidence. Epstein never trafficked anybody to anybody. He never blackmailed anybody. He never recorded it. He never had any friends. He never had anybody over. He never, tried to dodge Elon Musk while Elon Musk was trying to come over and fuck kids. None of that ever happened, ever. 100% never. Never, never, never. Perfect. Oh, I already had that one open. Let's see what Buttigieg has got to say, I guess.
Things can be true. One, it's a tragedy anytime an American citizen dies. Absolutely.
Listen to this stupid shit. Who gives a fuck if Tom Homan prays every day with his eyesight? What the fuck are we even talking about now?
I think two things can be true. One, it's a tragedy anytime an American citizen dies. Absolutely. And we heard Tom Homan this week talk about how he prays every time before he goes out. He doesn't want even the illegal immigrant who might have a criminal record to be harmed in the process of obtaining them. But at the same time, Americans clearly called for immigration enforcement. They called for not a lawless southern border where 2 million gotaways happened during the Biden administration. So what's the response to those in your party who are saying abolish ICE? Because that is not where the American people stand.
Yeah, I think Americans want and expect that we will have a secure border, understand that we have immigration laws, and that those immigration laws have to be enforced. But what we're seeing is not that. What we're seeing is the people who are supposed to be enforcing the law are breaking the law. It's been held in court that they have violated countless court orders, and the people they're going after are not, increasingly and proportionally, not just the person we can all agree needs to be deported and dealt with, somebody with a criminal record. But, when you see a 5-year-old kid in a Spider-Man backpack being treated...
No shit, dude.
This way, when you see people who did follow the rules, follow the laws, did everything they're supposed to, and they are still getting arrested, mistakenly deported, having their rights violated. When you see this photo of an American woman opening the door to her home and on her doorstep finds half a dozen agents, federal agents in tactical gear that is more tricked out than what I would take outside the wire when I was in Afghanistan. Again, on the door of an American porch, I think most people get that that is wrong. It is not making us safer. And, you know, the border police should be dealing with the border. I don't know what border is in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I would know DHS's response would be
I know what
that
border's in Minnesota. Let me correct myself, but not Minneapolis.
I'm sure you do know the borders. You know, I think two things can be true. One, it's a tragedy anytime.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know, we see Tom Homan praying for the immigrants every time he goes out to fucking arrest them and drag them away from their family. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you've been to the DHS website, there's actually this weird fucking thing that happens. So it makes you verify your age. It asks you if you're 18 or older on the DHS website, which is also something Pornhub started doing. Kind of pisses me off, but xnxx.com does not. Pornhub wants me to upload my license to look up some gay albino midget bondage porn. Yeah, I'm going to send you my photo ID, bro. I'm going to send you my photo ID and then just fucking search all my kinks. That's what I'm going to do with my life. What are you talking about, bro? The fuck are you talking about? You want my government license to watch porn? I'm already hiding over in the corner beating my dick like fucking Golem from Lord of the Rings, and now you want my ID out there too, bro? Yeah, okay. I'll get right on that.
Buried deep in the new Epstein files is an Easter egg that you're not supposed to know about. When attempting to access the latest files on the Department of Justice's website, visitors are first met with an age verification screen requiring users to confirm that they are over the age of 18. Selecting yes does not unlock a warning or a summary, but instead quietly redirects the user into the public document database.
All right, so if you select yes, you go straight to the database,
where the files are made available in full with no additional context or explanation. But selecting no, however, prompts an email to be sent to your inbox from Jeffrey Epstein's Gmail account that reads, "What up, Finishawty? Send pics of your chussy, LOL smiley face." Buried deep in the new...
What? If you select no...
Epstein files is an Easter egg that you're not supposed to know about. When attempting to access the latest files on the Department of Justice's website, visitors are first met with an age verification screen requiring users to confirm that they are over the age of 18. Selecting yes does not unlock a warning or a summary, but instead quietly redirects the user into the public document database, where the files are made available in full with no additional context or explanation. But selecting no, however, prompts an email to be sent to your inbox from Jeffrey Epstein's Gmail account that reads, "What up, Finishawty? Send pics of your chussy, LOL smiley face." Buried deep in the new...
Very funny. Very based. Love it. Oh, everybody make fun of Itsuko because she doesn't know how we ironically use the word based, and she never knows when to use it, so she won't use it at all. So every time you see Itsuko in chat, just be like, based. Fucking Japanese based. She has no idea. She's Japanese, by the way. So everybody make fun of Spicy Itsuko. Also, someone said you can just look through your neighbor's windows. 1, my neighbors have blinds. 2, my neighbors are very much living, and that is not my thing. I like them. Well, I mean, I guess if they passed away and I happen to be in the area.
Epstein files is an Easter egg that you're not supposed to know about.
Oh, I found a new comedian. Dude, he has one of the funniest bits. What is that guy's name? Is it Samuel Orson? Yes. One of the funniest bits this guy has is he says, you have to see it, but basically he always says, he'll say something like, you want a Pokemon joke or a piss joke? And let the crowd pick, but both of them end up being piss jokes. You just got to watch this guy. Just watch.
I'm recording for my safety. I feel the same.
You might not like his humor. I fucking love it.
I'm recording for my safety. I feel the same way about school shooters as I do about people that play the accordion. I don't care if you're going to do it. Just don't do it around me. Waymo's a scam. There actually is a driver in the front seat. You just have to take 42,000 milligrams of Benadryl to see him. I've had several girls tell me I resemble a horse in the bedroom. Not because I have a huge hog, but because I sleep standing up. I'm going to have to open it up with some...
Because I sleep standing up.
But because I sleep standing up, I'm gonna have to open it up with some crowd work. Where are you from? New York. New York. My sister's from New York. Not. You fucking? All right, you guys want to hear a piss joke or a Spirit Airlines joke? Piss joke? Boys, you ever drink so much piss it starts coming out your dick? All right, let's do the Spirit Airlines joke. Here's the worst thing about Spirit Airlines. They don't even have Sky Mall anymore. All they have is that safety information card and that little paper bag that they give you to piss in, right? Any birthdays?
They're not funny, but it's funny he gives them an option. Do you want a piss joke or this joke? And they're both piss jokes.
Audience, I ain't scared of you. I changed the GPS voice on my Apple Maps to be the Borat voice, but I had to change it back because no matter what address I put in, it kept taking me to Van Nuys. I accidentally scheduled my LASIK eye surgery the same week as my hair transplant, and I got the dates mixed up, and now every single morning I have to shave my eyeballs. I was in a 25-year age gap relationship. I was 23 and she was -2. My coworkers... keep calling me middle-aged, but it's not because I'm in my 30s. It's because my favorite restaurant is Medieval Times. Too soon. I read a statistic that said vending machines kill 6 people every single year, and the left wants to take away my guns. You guys are too woke for this. I'm recording for my safety. I'm recording for my safety. I just found out what a hall pass is, where you can sleep with any celebrity you want. I wish I would have known that in middle school because I was using my hall pass all wrong. I was just getting a sip of water, and I could have been fucking John Cena. I accidentally...
I love his fucking style, dude. I get it. It's super edgy, some of them, but goddamn, it's funny.
I could have been fucking John Cena. I accidentally used a can of bear spray instead of hairspray. I fell asleep for 6 months and woke up with a hankering for salmon. You guys aren't ready for that conversation. Opinions are like assholes. The homies don't share theirs enough. What is that? Some sort of dog? The average person eats a credit card size amount of microplastics every year. My question is that in addition to the credit cards that we already eat, I ate a credit card the other day and I got very sick, but it turns out it was expired. Has anyone told you look just like Scott Gass? You know Scott Gass? Yeah, he's the husband of Michelle Gass. Michelle Gass. She was the CEO of Kohl's from 2018 to 2022. I don't know why you're laughing. Those 4 years, she did more for affordable fashion than you've done in your entire fucking life. I ain't scared of you. I met my wife in the adult entertainment industry. We were both shift leads at Dave & Buster's. You know what's nice about Dave & Buster's? It's clean fun. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. I got a new smoke detector that stops beeping when there's a fire. Thank you so much, I'm Sam. I'm recording from...
God damn.
I found a can of beans in my kitchen cabinet that expired in 2010. This can of beans is 15 years old, which is obviously too old to eat, but in just 3 years, that can of beans will be old enough to legally fuck. I recently decided to become more calorie conscious.
But in 3 years, I can fuck it. It's very AA meeting vibes.
Old enough to legally fuck. I recently decided to become more calorie conscious. I was reading the nutrition facts on a frozen pizza, and it said 200 calories per serving, 1,000 in the container. Well, I guess I won't eat the box then. Cardboard makes my stomach hurt anyway. All right, you guys are too young. I'm gonna play to this side of the room. Where are you from? Thousand Oaks. Your English is really good. If the right really...
I'm gonna start using that. Where are you from? Oh, great English.
Wants to make the green M&M less sexy, then they're gonna have to do something about her damn thigh gap. Seriously, what's going on with that thing? Right. Think I'm scared of you? I took one of those online autism...
Is that Tony Hawk?
Tests, and it turns out that I'm a Gryffindor. People keep complaining about AI using all the water. Hey, how about you stop giving the computer water? Last time I checked, water is bad for a computer, dumbass. I do my own research. I recently conducted a study in my apartment that discovered that at just 4 weeks, an unborn fetus has the cognitive ability to, quote, Borat. So next time you get a girl pregnant, you shouldn't be thinking, how can I get rid of this baby? You should be thinking, how can I make this woman my wife? My wife. You guys get the idea. All right, thank you. I'm recording for my safety. I've had several girls tell me I resemble...
We're just going to grab them all.
In the bedroom.
We watched that one.
I'm recording for my safety. I had a doctor tell me...
Wait, no, we didn't watch that one.
For my safety.
Maybe just redid the show. Oh, it's a compilation of 1 through 3.
Recording for my safety. I had a doctor...
His Netflix special is going to be called I'm Recording for My Safety.
Tell me that I have autism. I said, that's not possible. I'm immune. I had it as a kid. What's up with the double standards between men and women? Like if a girl sleeps with 20 men, she's a hussy. But if I sleep with 20 men, they give me my camping merit badge. Boys, here's a...
But if I sleep with 20 men, They call me a Scoutmaster.
Trick. If you sit on your hand until it goes completely numb, it feels like somebody else is whacking off your gym teacher.
If you sit on your hand till it's completely numb, it feels like someone else is jerking off your gym teacher.
Like that one? Now we're cooking with gas, boys. Where are you from? Never heard of it. Where are you from?
He said Ohio. Where are you from, Ohio? Never heard of it.
Guys, you gotta give me something to work with here. I saw one of those Postmates robots crossing the street in front of me, and crossing the other direction was a police officer on a horse, and I couldn't help but think this must be a very confusing scene for a time traveler. By the way, those robots deliver food during the day, but at night you can fuck them. The left doesn't want you to know that. My sister just got...
That's going to be my new line. The left doesn't want you to know that. You know, those robots deliver food all day, but not a lot of people know this. At night, you can fuck them. The left doesn't want you to know that.
For food during the day, but at night you can fuck them. The left doesn't want you to know that. My sister just got her 2-year-old baby glasses, which seems like a huge waste of money. Why wouldn't you just wait for his baby eyes to fall out? I ain't scared of you. Not quite sure what's going on with you, though. I've been trying to put on some weight. Unfortunately, weight gain powder is super expensive, but luckily I found a cheaper option. It's about $5 for 80 pounds. They only sell it at Home Depot. It's this brand called Concrete Mix. I had to get a haircut recently. You guys hear about this? I went to the salon called Dry Bar, and they said they only do blowouts, and I asked if I wanted my hair blown out, and I said, not unless you also do backs. I recently had both of my kidneys removed so I could suck my own. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. Sometimes I post on... I'm recording for my safety. I recently asked my girlfriend if she would consider going on birth control, and she said, no, can't you just wear condoms?
That's the last one.
And it's like, no, I can't wear condoms. You know, they give me horrible mood swings. What do you guys want to hear?
They make me bloats. Are you kidding me?
Piss joke or a Pokemon joke?
Piss joke or Pokemon?
Start the piss joke. Boys, any 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom can be a 2-bathroom if you're man enough to piss in the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like the piss stuff? You guys like the piss stuff? You guys are piss freaks. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll do a Pokemon joke now. I recently invested in a bunch of Pokemon cards. I bought 25 boxes of prismatic booster packs, and they came in a solid cardboard box. And they said if I opened the cardboard box, it would lose 25% of its value. So my question is, what's in the box? Bags of piss?
I love how they're both piss jokes.
Yeah, guys, yes! I've been studying white boys recently. You guys heard of these guys? And I've noticed that white boys like to comment the phrase, now this is comedy, under a video of literal racism. The lady's treating you right, young man? That's what I'm talking about, brother. I used to date somebody who was in middle school, but it's not what you think. We were both in middle school. She was the class president and I was her history teacher. My sister's...
They were both in middle school.
Baby is a lot like the fan above a microwave because it just makes a bunch of noise and doesn't do shit. It's an appliance joke. I sold my completed state quarter collection for $10. I can't tell if I got ripped off. If you do the math on that, it'll make sense. I ain't scared of you. I updated Ernest Hemingway's 6-word story to not be lame as shit. For sale, baby shoes worn by skate legend motherfucking Bob Burnquist. We're almost to the end, guys. I had the therapist recommend exposure therapy for my fear of snakes, so I took his advice and went to the zoo. Found the biggest snake in the exhibit, and I flashed him my cock. You guys know this?
Wait a second. Exposure therapy, like exposing yourself. So you found the biggest snake in the zoo and showed him his cock.
Leg lengthening surgery you guys are getting. How it works is they break your leg. I had the therapist recommend exposure therapy for my fear of snakes. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. Delivered right. That's a good one.
Found the biggest snake in the exhibit, and I flashed him my cock. You guys know this leg lengthening surgery you guys are getting? How it works is they break your legs in half, they separate the bone, and when it grows back, it adds like 3 inches to your height. Now, I don't need 3 inches added to my height. I'm doing just fine, but I could use 3 inches elsewhere. So long story short, my dick is pretty fucked up right now, but if everything heals correctly, I have a 4-inch cock. I'm recording from...
If everything heals back correctly, I have a 4-inch cock. So he's admitting he has a 1-inch cock currently. That's this guy's name. He's going places, okay? He may turn super racist, I don't know, but his name is Samuel Orson. S-A-M-U-E-L, Samuel Orson, O-R-S-O-N, if you guys want to follow him on social media. I like it. I like him so far. I like him. let's get into something horrible. The Trump administration is talking about federalizing elections again. Imagine that. He's like, some of these guys behind me should do something. You're the president, sir.
Back, but the president continues to push this idea of nationalizing the election, meaning having the federal government do. The White House tried to walk it back, but the president continues to push this idea of
again and again and again.
Meaning having the federal government do things like.
So every time they ask anybody else from the administration, they're like, that's not, we just need oversight. We need to do this. You know, Congress writes laws. But then when Trump talks about it, he's like, no, we need to take it over. If you can't run it, then we're going to take it over.
Count ballots and run the election and maybe even manage voter registration. So I'm going to.
They already fucked the USPS postmark stuff. That has to do with the election. You know that, right? It used to be you were guaranteed your mail would be postmarked the day you fucking mailed it. So if you had like a bill or something due or a contract to be signed, when it gets this postmark, that's proof. That's the day you mailed it. That's how they know when to count mail-in ballots if they're postmarked by the right date. They already did that. They took that away. So how many ballots are going to get thrown out? Because now they can't guarantee they can postmark it the same day.
Share with you exactly.
It's not a valid way to prove when something was mailed anymore.
What the president just said a short time ago, and then I'm going to give you the facts. Here we go.
See elections be honest. And if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it.
Trump is referring to all the.
If a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it. And talking about all these Republicans behind him.
Republican representatives and senators who were standing behind him in the Oval Office. He wasn't specific about what he wanted them to do, but let's keep going and see if he clarifies.
Because, you know, if you think about it, a state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway.
Oh, he wants those lawmakers to get involved and federalize the.
How much more power would he have if someone he appoints runs nationwide elections? Steve Bannon's already said that they're going to have ICE at every fucking polling place, everywhere you can fucking vote.
Elections. And the reason why the federal government doesn't do them anyway, meaning doesn't run elections, is because of Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution. The Founding Fathers gave that power to the states. The states run elections in this country, not the federal government. So that's why the federal government doesn't do them anyway. And for the record, the Founding Fathers did that for a reason. They were fearful of another king coming over to try and rule them. They had just won independence from the King of England. So when it came to figuring out the new power structure in their new country, the United States.
And it wouldn't fix Trump's problem, right? Trump's problem is when he loses, he likes to say people cheated. But even the federal watchdogs that looked into the election and talked about how secure it was, there was no cheating, no votes were changed, no, this is the most secure election we've had today, he still called those people out. So either one, he's going to use it to cheat, or two, when he loses, he's going to claim that someone else cheated. It still doesn't fix his problem he has.
States of America, the Founding Fathers divided the power up so no one branch of government or state got too powerful, and most importantly, they limited the authority of the executive, meaning they limited the president's power because they didn't want another king. Fun fact, the Constitution gives the president zero power over the elections. And the Constitution talks about the elections quite a bit. And the president, not mentioned once. Now, we all have to assume that President Trump understands the Constitution of the United States. Of course, he is the president, so you would imagine he understands it.
He doesn't.
Swore on the Bible to uphold it when he was inaugurated.
And will, to the best of my ability, and will.
I can't believe he got the Hamburglar to cameo with him.
To the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. So help me God. So help me God.
So I have no idea why he keeps saying this, but let's keep going. Maybe he'll shed some light on why.
But when you see some of these states about how horribly they run their elections, what a disgrace it is, I think the federal government, when you see crooked elections, and we had plenty of them.
Oh, now I see. He wants the federal government to take over elections because in his view, some states run their elections horribly and they are crooked. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. That is his opinion. That is not a fact. Now, I want to be clear. I am not saying that states run their elections perfectly, and I'm certainly not saying there aren't election problems. Those absolutely exist. But here's the genius part of our country. We have remedies and contingency plans and laws that govern how we fix those problems. Those remedies run through the states, they run through the courts, and they even, in some cases, run through the federal government. But the fact is, none of these problems that Trump has been talking about for 10 years have ever been proven anywhere.
To even exist.
One state, including red states, not in one court, including in courts run by Trump-appointed judges, and not even by President Trump's own Department of Justice during his first term. But let's keep going, and maybe we'll get a better idea if maybe there's something new that Trump knows.
And by the way, we had them last time, but go to 2020 and look at the facts that are coming out.
Okay, so then not new. We're going back to 2020, 6 years ago. Again. Okay, let's hear more.
Rigged, crooked elections. If we have areas, take a look.
I thought part of their party platform was more power to the states, returning power to the states. The government was just there as like a fucking safety net umbrella kind of.
Detroit.
Here are the actual voting results for 2020 in Detroit. President Biden.
He's been sharing these memes pretty heavily on Truth Social that are like, in case you missed it, here's what the election looked like when everybody went to sleep. And it showed him like slightly in the lead. Well, then all the mail-in ballots were counted, and all the Democrats voted heavily through mail-in ballots. So, yeah, I mean, we all know what happened. Here's where it was when they froze the counting. Then everybody woke up, and Trump just lost. He's been sharing those over and over and over and over and over again. Here's one.
Is Georgia, and that state's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is with us now. Mr. Secretary, good morning on a busy morning. I guess the big question is, Hoda?
Yeah, we want to know, when are we going to get your votes? When are we going to find out who's won your state?
Well, we have about 2% left to go. We had great success yesterday. We had 4.7 million voters that voted. Record breaker for us, beats the 4.1 in 2016. We also had average wait time of only 2 minutes, statewide average. We have about 2% left to go. And you can see where we are right now with the results that have been reported. I don't think it'll change any of the outcomes, but that's what really people that make those predictions do. What we'll do is get.
By the way, he's saying he's got 2% left to go. That's in counting. That's not reporting, because the graphic on the screen says that only 92% is reporting. So really, there's 8% left to go as far as reporting.
It'll change any of the outcomes, but that's what really people that make those predictions do. What we'll do is get.
It says that Trump's leading 50.5 to Biden's 48.3. And in the reporting, there's 8% to go, about roughly 8%.
Well, that was interesting, though. We were just getting to the good part there, because the Secretary of State said they got 2% left to count, Chuck, but he did not think it would change the outcome.
That's interesting.
But then he deferred to the prognosticators, which I think is over to you.
Look, I can just say what our models say, and it's where those counties are. They are heavily Democratic counties. And it's the.
Of course he's going to say, I don't think it's going to. He's a Republican, dude.
Atlanta number. So it is going to shrink, perhaps.
So then he shares this post. He says, November 3rd, 2020 election. This is from Real Roberts, Real Rob N. It says, here's the Georgia Secretary of State Raffensperger in the early morning hours of November 4th, confirming Trump won the state of Georgia just hours before the United States government was overthrown. That's not true. That's not what happened. He's saying, I don't think it's going to change the outcome. Then he uses a quote. He says, we have about 2% left to go. As you can see where we are right now, I don't think it's going to change the outcome. He says it will not change the outcome. If it will not change the outcome, they would have called it already. But then it goes back to this poster saying, in fact, he doubles down after being reprimanded. Oh, that was interesting. We were just getting to the good part. Raffensperger, we don't guess. What we do is report. In other words, if 100% of the remaining 2% of votes went to the vegetable in the basement, Donald J. Trump still won the state of Georgia. That's the claim that he's sharing all over Truth Social again and 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 again. He's, I don't know, somebody got fucking dementia grandpa all hyped up on this shit again.
Won 94% of that district to Trump's 5%. What else?
Take a look at Pennsylvania. Take a look at Philadelphia.
Here are the actual voting results for Philadelphia, specifically 2020. President Biden won with 81.4% of the vote, and Trump received 17.9% of the vote.
Like, look, it's not crazy. If people would have just shown up, you would have lost Kamala Harris as well.
What else?
You go take a look at Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption.
Here are the 2020 results in Atlanta, which is, of course, located in Fulton County. President Biden won that district by 72.7% of the vote, and Trump received 26.2% of the vote. So what I am understanding is President Trump is doubting election results in deep blue districts. I don't understand why he's under the impression that he would win in a deep blue district. That would be like saying Joe Biden won in 2020 in the...
Because he's got retards. He's got retards that he supports telling him that he won every state.
Red district of Texas. That doesn't make any sense, but maybe Trump will make some sense as he wraps up all these comments.
And the federal government should not allow that.
By the way, did you see Trump? So the Gulfstream 500, 600, and 700, and 800 jets are having trouble getting certified in Canada, okay? Now, this is not something we want to fuck with, okay? The certification, I'm covering this because I saw Trump post about it. Gulfstream confirms delay over Canadian type certification. Gulfstream confirmed that it has applications pending for Canadian type certifications for G500, G600, G700, G800. This comes in the wake of President Trump's declaration late last week that he intends. So Trump's plan, because Canada is not this is not something. This is the certification of aircraft you might be on, not something we want to rush. Trump's plan, because that Canada has not yet certified these private jets, these Gulfstream private jets, is he's going to decertify every Bombardier jets in America and any other aircraft made in Canada until they certify the jets that he wants certified. So every Bombardier or any other jet that's made in Canada is now suddenly not certified to fly in the United States. Are you fucking kidding me? If he does this, how much air traffic is he going to stop? This is insane.
The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
Trying to speak it into truth or trying to manifest it. You're right.
Go ahead. Yeah, you know what? They can administer the election, but they have to do it honestly.
Again, no court or state or federal administration has ever found that any state has administered their elections fraudulently or not honestly. Look, the Constitution is clear here. The federal government cannot take over or nationalize the election. But as I told you in my special deep dive video yesterday, that doesn't mean that the president can't do other things that may actually impact the election, which are totally legal. So if you want to learn more about all that stuff, make sure you check out my deep dive. It's over on my Substack. The White House tried to walk it back, but the president continues to push this idea.
So in Canada, a company called Transport Canada, or the governing body called Transport Canada, which is part of the National Aircraft Certification Branch, is the sole regulatory authority responsible for certifying jets and other aeronautical products in Canada, issuing type certifications to confirm they meet safety standards. They conduct independent safety assessments, including of foreign aircraft. They will not take like the U.S.'s word or the fucking Dubai's word or fucking any other country's word. They do their own certifications for them to operate inside of Canada. And clearly they're having some type of issue with these Gulfstream aircraft, so they probably would have been certified by now.
Of nationalizing the election, meaning having the federal government do things like count ballots and run the election and maybe even manage voter registration. So I'm going to share with you exactly what the president just said a short time ago, and then I'm going to...
This is insane, dude. This is so fucking insane.
District by 72.7% of the vote, and Trump received 26.2% of the vote. So what I am understanding is President Trump is doubting election results in deep blue districts. I don't understand why he's under the impression that he would win in a deep blue district. That would be like saying Joe Biden won in 2020 in the deepest red district of Texas. That doesn't make any sense, but maybe Trump will make some sense as he wraps up all these comments.
And the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
The Constitution says it should be states that administer elections, Mr. President.
Yeah, you know what? They can administer the election, but they have to do it honestly.
Again, no court or state or federal.
Got to do it honestly.
Ever found that any state.
Zero evidence of any of this ever happening, and he's trying to make radical changes to our election system. I wonder why.
Has administered their elections fraudulently or not honestly. Look, the Constitution is clear here. The federal government cannot take over or nationalize the election. But as I told you in my special deep dive video yesterday, that doesn't mean that the president can't do other things that may actually impact the election, which are totally legal. So if you want to learn more about all that stuff, make sure you check out my deep dive. It's over on my Substack. The White House tried to walk it back, but the president continues to push this.
Fucking insane, dude. He's going to try to steal the election while claiming other people are stealing it from him. That's exactly what he's going to fucking do. And he's already got it kicked off already with the fucking shit down in Fulton County. Right? And Tulsi Gabbard.
Turning Point family, we are here to talk about the All-American Halftime Show. I'm giving you the opportunity to purchase Turning Point merchandise in order to be able to vote.
Buy Tapusa merchandise, and you can vote what her intro song will be.
For the song that
I can't play the songs, but I'll tell you what they are.
To in the Turning Point Halftime Show, and the choices are.
The choices are, let me mute it. The first one is We Are Charlie Kirk. We Carry the Flame. Nicki Minaj is the second one. This is the YMCA. Look how violent that is. Praise the Lord. Dun 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 dun. Ba da 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 da. It's text call me JD. It's pour some sugar on me.
Order your merch today for the All-American Halftime Show and vote today.
Tapusa. I like calling it that now. Tapusa. Tapusa and Bortz are in it together. Did you see they changed all the fucking artwork around the White House because they figured out they bought it at Walmart?
Well, it appears your high school bully's favorite press secretary is paying attention. Hey, girl. Because it was brought to my attention that the geriatric 28-year-old mouthpiece of Satan posted.
I'm sure. I don't think she got duped. I think Trump just lied to her and told her it was a real fucking. That's a real one right there. That's it. Yeah, you're a citizen. And then the White House is like, no, it's not a real one.
Said this on her Instagram story yesterday. I know you're probably thinking, what's so surprising about the findings of this office? This all feels pretty predictable. You recall just a few weeks ago.
There's the new artwork for $18,000.
Looked like this.
That's the Walmart one.
I'm scared. We saw this Vanity
right there.
Fair portrait. We immediately clocked this art that was found at Walmart, to be honest with you, but they had since taken it down because probably this. This piece of art was super easy to find. I found it on Etsy and was able to download it and print it same day so I could make a sketch. I'm sure she hated that. Perfectly clear. Nothing wrong with this painting. Beautiful piece by a woman. A little progressive. Original was an oil on canvas. She was French. Honestly, kind of a vibe. The internet had a field day when they found out the press secretary had Walmart art. Or as you can see here, Amazon art. Josephine Goebbels took issue with that. How would this constipated looking Maha mom even care? Isn't the Republicans' whole thing middle America? Look at us, we shop at Walmart. Why would she get so bothered by people thinking that she has Walmart art? Unless it's because. By the time you reach 28 and you put in your 10,000 hours licking grandpa balls just to raise your net worth and social status, the last thing you want to be called is cheap, okay? New art it is. This one was also very easy to find, but it is more expensive. It's more classy, love. It matches with the decor. $1,500. Ooh. Then in a couple places, and no, I couldn't find an artist attached to it, but it seems like it's just a mass-produced piece of art, which is it's actually pretty perfect for the woman that looks like a Target regional manager. Betsy.
A Target regional manager.
You need blush. What do you think?
Board has quit, buddy. We sent him on a spiral, especially when Snazzy Granny dumped all the messages on him. He didn't think Snazzy would do him that way.
Yeah.
Donate to prove you're a real person. A South Portland man has filed a $7.5 million lawsuit from this stop. Check it out.
Are you following us?
By the way, he never engaged. He never talked. He never yelled. He never screamed. He just followed around a video or a car that he thought was ICE and recorded it.
Are you following us? Yeah. Okay, so what you're doing is called impeding federal law enforcement, okay?
A 30-second encounter right there with ICE could now lead to a $7.5 million legal claim against the federal government.
Continue to impede us and follow us, you will be arrested.
Yeah, except
okay?
I'm not impeding you.
Okay.
This is my First Amendment right. I'm observing you. I'm not harassing or impeding, getting in your way.
So here's the legal question. Federal courts have ruled that...
And of course it's all on camera because he was recording it. They're trying to say you can't even follow him now. We saw the person they tried to ram for following them.
People may observe and record law enforcement in public as long as they do not interfere with police activity.
Keep doing it, we'll pull you back out and arrest you. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay.
Robert Peck says he remained in his vehicle and did not interfere. ICE agents, though, say his actions crossed that line. He has now filed a notice of claim seeking $7.5 million, alleging emotional distress and a violation of his constitutional rights.
I'm a civil rights lawyer for 40 years, and this was a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 civil rights emergency.
Whether that claim succeeds would be decided in court. The Department of Homeland Security has requested more details on the case. but no further response has been provided.
Are you following us? Yeah. Okay, so what you're doing is called impeding federal law enforcement, okay?
A 30-second encounter right there with ICE could now lead to a $7.5 million legal...
I hope he wins it. Like, fuck them. They can't say, like, it's heavily protected that you're allowed to record fucking police officers while they're going through their day, doing their duty, doing whatever, right? Oh, I forgot this one. Joe Rogan is scraping the bottom of the barrel. He had fucking Christo nationalist, trad wife, coveter, because his wife has 3 different baby daddies and 3 kids when he met her. But Andrew Wilson on the Joe Rogan podcast. Andrew Wilson, the guy who got owned because he couldn't open a pickle jar while he was trying to talk shit about a woman not being able to open a pickle jar.
I'm really surprised he had him on, though. Gee.
And what did he talk about? He talked about destiny.
Jeez. I feel
he called him a coomer and then had to explain to Joe Rogan what a coomer was.
Like scraping the bottom of the barrel for these Trump defenders.
Like I've always thought in my head, you take a guy like Destiny, right? The Coomer Gremlin, as I like to call him. Okay,
what do you call him? The what?
Coomer Gremlin.
What's that mean?
Well, like Coomer, like all he does is he basically he's like
Coomer?
A sexual degenerate, right?
Is that what Coomer is?
Yeah. Well, Coomer, it's a little more mild than that. Coomer's just like kind of one of the higher values is just kind of having sex with everyone, right? It's around like that's what you do.
But he's like bisexual, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, he's all kinds of sexual.
Why does he even know that about? Okay.
But the thing is like I've often thought that there's times when I'm talking to the guy where I'm like, you don't believe that. Like, there's no fucking way you believe that shit. You're making it up. And I know you're making it up, right? And you'll catch him at times and be like, whatever I got to say to win the argument.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. But it's like, there are people who genuinely believe their view and are excellent debaters.
One thing I really don't like.
So that's not even the definition of coomer, right? Definition of coomer is someone who is just like, excessively preoccupied with porn and masturbation. Or like, you know, like you might call somebody a coomer when they fucking just immediately like latch onto a post because there's a girl in a fucking bikini or she almost showed her nipple. Kind of like, I don't understand. He's a coomer gremlin. This is your big shot. And you go on Joe Rogan and talk about destiny being a coomer gremlin, and for some reason Joe Rogan knows your sexuality?
I'm trying to think about this more through the projection lens. I feel like
it's like it's not casual. It's like an excessive behavior. Coomer brain, where all you think about is like getting off, masturbating, fucking, coming, basically.
Like me, or I don't mean this sounds like I'm talking myself out loud, but like we're threatening to people like him.
Gooner is basically the same thing. Gooning is just masturbation. I guess coomer could include fucking a lot too, but I don't know. This is just so weird.
Supposed to be making shit up or defending stuff that they don't believe in, and if you have somebody who's authentic, that's like a threat to you somehow. I guess maybe that's my guess. It's such a lazy criticism. I'm so open with all my shit, and I feel like I've taken a lot of hits.
Is that why you're Jamie Ohio? Because you're so fucking Gen Alpha brained?
Because of how
Ohio Riz Skibbity Toilet
positions I have. So I just don't understand the idea. There are so many more
a Risley Bear
made career wise. If I wanted to just grift. Like, I don't know who I'm grifting to. The center left, but I'm way too edgy for a lot of those audiences. So I don't know. It's just cringe. I'm really surprised he had him on though. Jeez.
Andrew Wilson. The Joe Rogan podcast has to be at the bottom of the barrel. I'll leave you with this one because this is I got to go home a little bit earlier than normal. I got to do online Chromebook education with Ollie tomorrow. This I just grabbed because it's Tennessee. Tennessee won't know how many new vouchers go to existing private school students. So for some reason, we're issuing private school vouchers, and they try to sell it as like, well, these kids that go to public schools who want to go to private schools can, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's just giving the majority of the vouchers to people who can already afford to put their kids in private school. They're just being reimbursed. So the wealthier people are just getting free school. And they have no way to track any of this.
Why would we not track which kids
Thank you.
In private schools that are using the vouchers. Why are you guys against that?
Because it's a privacy issue.
Privacy issue?
Sure enough.
No, it isn't. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I.
Oh, the pickle jar? Hell yeah.
Already in private schools, right? You know that because that's what happened.
Do you think I have a problem with that?
No, I don't. But I think you know that people would.
I don't think they would. Why
Oh,
would
I like those.
problem with someone getting their taxpayer dollars back? That's the difference between us and you. Is that you guys believe in class warfare? We don't.
So are you for?
You guys believe in class warfare. We don't. The whole program is sold on anybody can go to private school now. Where you couldn't afford it before, we'll help offset that cost, and now we can send any kid to private school. While it hurts public schools because it takes money away from them, but they have the vast majority of these, I have no doubt, are going to people who already can afford to send their kids to private school.
The idea of just not having to pay for public schools if you don't use them, is that what you're saying?
I don't understand the question. Ask it again.
Basically what you're saying is not everybody should have to chip into public schools, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that basically the idea of public schools as a concept is what you're against.
No, not really. What I'm against is a parent having to pay for a public school that they don't use.
Right. And most people are not for what you're saying there. Most people think we should all chip into public schools.
The polling says otherwise.
No, it doesn't. No, you're wrong about that. People support the idea of public schools.
They never frame it this way. Survey shows broad support for public schools. Everybody supports public schools. Even the people that have their kids in private schools are like, yeah, we have to have somewhere for the poor kids to go, right? The vast majority of people. What's crazy is like, I don't know. They don't need this money. Like they're already paying. Their kids have been going to school there forever. What we should have done is made sure these vouchers went to the lowest people that said, like the least earners, when they said, hey, I want my kid in private school, that the vouchers went to them.
Public schools. You're wrong about that. That's why they don't run on that. You actually are more honest than the people you support because you say that openly. They don't say that because it's actually not popular. But I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about right now is why don't we just at least track how many kids that are using these vouchers?
Yeah, at least we don't have to know them by name or this, that, and the other. We don't care about that. But at least tell us like 30%, 80%, 90%, whatever, went to kids that were already in private school last year.
Already in private school. Why would we not want to know that?
Again, because it's a privacy issue.
It's not a privacy issue.
Oh, fuck you. She knows exactly what I was talking about. Jamie, Ohio. I'm the Grizzly Bear, motherfucker.
Track it. It's not illegal.
I didn't say it was illegal.
It's not a privacy issue. We're not saying list which kids.
Low-Kinwinley. Okay? You guys I don't even think you've got Low-Kinwinley in New Jersey yet. Get fucked. Get fucked.
Saying find out how many of these vouchers are going to kids. It's because you know it's a coupon for the wealthy, right?
Oh yeah. Thanks for telling me. I just went with Jamie. I don't know. In my head, I immediately thought female.
I don't care if it is or not.
Right, but you know it is, right?
No, I don't.
That makes you more Ohio risk skibbity.
And we have a different worldview.
Right.
Your worldview is that the wealthy should subsidize it.
Not bad.
My worldview
That's not true.
It is true.
No, and it's not about the worldview. It's about not lying about what they do. Because
I'm not lying to anybody.
Positioning these as like we're just giving these poor kids.
I've never.
Yes,
you're incorrect. Don't say you.
They advertise that to us like, hey, we're giving these poor kids a chance to go to private schools where the school's better, but it's not that way.
When you know that's not my argument.
Okay, but most of
Jamie, holy fuck, Jamie. I have a stalker. You new people don't know that I have like a 6 fucking year stalker who thinks we're in a romantic relationship and that Mariah gave her permission for us to be together.
For what other people say. So don't
are you
accuse me of it.
Are you saying you're saying that vouchers are not actually intended to help kids?
Some of them sure, which is why very specifically the program has prioritized low income first.
No, it hasn't.
It has.
If it has, it would have.
You can say that if you want to.
The income limit is $175,000 a year, so that's not for low income kids.
For the first year. This year it changed. Are you aware of that?
Changed to what?
It changed the priority levels. So see, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Tell me what.
The point is, Justin.
Tell me what.
Why don't you tell us?
You believe in class warfare. Your followers believe in class warfare.
I wouldn't call it class warfare.
We do not.
I believe that inequality is out of control. We need to do something.
I don't disagree with that, and in fact, I think this program helps with that. And again, that's where we're different because you're bringing kids out of schools that are not good for them. Not all of them.
Hang on a second. Now you're making the argument you just said you're not making.
Not all of them. Let me finish.
Okay,
right, you cut me off.
Sure, go ahead.
Right. So you are providing a pathway for some kids to get out of schools.
You just said that's not what this is about.
I didn't say. I said it was not entirely about that. Okay. Quit. You're trying to be cute.
I mean, you're just saying the thing that you said.
Do you want me to talk to you, or do you want to be cute?
I want you to be.
So basically, they're giving out 30,000 vouchers. 10,000 of them, 1/3 of them have no income limit whatsoever. So they're going as personal favors, right? 100%. Then the other 60%, I guess 66%, go to anybody making less than $175,000 a year, like what he just said.
I am being consistent. If you allow me to finish, right? We are allowing a pathway for some kids to get out of those failing public schools.
It's $7,500 a year to put your kid in private school.
And so you're just shaking your head. Do you want me to speak or not?
You're making my point.
I'm not making your point.
I want to know how many of those kids that you're talking about we're helping. And you're saying, let's not even track it.
We know.
And it's not based on income in any way, shape, or form. It's literally first come, first serve.
They know how many. The administration knows. I don't know. The administration knows, though.
How many?
Ask them. You're asking the wrong person.
So why not track it then? Why not make it public?
The administration does track it.
So why not make it public?
Ask the administration. I'm not the administration.
But I think we both know the answer to that.
But you said it was to protect people's privacy. How does a percentage number protect privacy?
I don't care what the answer is to it. That's you do. I don't.
You're being very inconsistent.
I'm not being inconsistent. You want me to be inconsistent. I'm not. The fact of the matter is it helping some kids get out of failing public schools? Yes.
These fucking private school lobbyists are fucking human pieces of shit, right?
At the same time,
100% of the time.
Solves, I believe, some of the inequality problem, getting them an opportunity to get a better education. That is one part of it. The other part of it, for me at least, which you may be right, maybe everyone doesn't talk about it, but for me at least, is allowing parents, I don't care how much money they make, I could care less, because I don't believe in class warfare, you do, is getting them their resources back. They shouldn't have to pay for a public school that they don't use, and then turn around and pay for private school just because they can. So
well, listen, I don't ever call the fire department. I don't use the police force. You know, I don't fucking worry about the streets being swept. I want all my money back.
What you're describing, Michael, is the disintegration of our society. We live in a
private schools vary wildly, and they don't have as much oversight. They can, they can be basically anything.
Civilized society where we all chip in and pay our taxes so that things exist, whether or not we use them. Police, the military, streets, schools, libraries, parks. We all chip in, even if we don't use them.
Again.
So that, so that
I've never been to the local park. Can I have my taxes back?
We all can use them if we want to. Public schools are one of those things, and actually, it's a very popular concept.
You and I, it may be, but you and I have
And they're not failing, by the way.
Many of them are.
No, they're not failing. They're not failing. No, they're not failing.
You know they are.
Absolutely not. We are underfunding them.
No,
but you say this concept.
is underfunding.
Hang on a second. This concept of failing schools is what you use to make money, which you're making money doing this. What you're doing right now. You use this concept of failing schools to attack public schools.
Why would we not track which kids are already in private schools and receiving a voucher?
But the truth is, when you get specific about the school, when you get specific about people's neighborhood school, people actually love their school and love their teacher and love their librarians. And you are here every day to attack the concept of what people actually love.
You and I, again, have a very different worldview of all of those things.
You believe in class warfare.
They tell us about these scary schools that are failing, that are urban, that kids are fucking doing this and teachers aren't teaching and the liberals are indoctrinating and we're going to get you to this fancy, but it's not like that.
Going the other direction. You believe in class warfare against poor people, against regular people. You do. You're here serving the interests of rich billionaires.
If it wasn't against poor people, then you would just put an income limit on all of them and say, look, you make, the median household income or less is where these are going. If you've already got your kids in private school, so be it. Like, you obviously can afford that for the last however many years they've been there.
You're a Koch brother lobbyist, right? Who controls AFP?
Actually, the Kochs hardly fund AFP.
Who funds AFP?
They hardly fund AFP.
Hardly.
Sure, they do actually.
Right.
Okay.
You're a lobbyist
you and I
who works
have,
for rich people.
You and I have a very...
Acting like you...
Okay.
You're a lobbyist
you and I
who works for rich
have...
people.
The Kochs hardly fund AFP.
Who funds AFP?
They hardly fund
Who funds
AFP.
it? Poor
Very,
people?
yeah, sure, they do actually.
Right.
Okay.
Poor people fund it.
You and I
works for
have...
rich people.
You and I have
Acting
very...
acting like you don't believe in class warfare.
You and I have...
You are a class warfare soldier here to...
The private schools love this. They fucking turn a shit ton of profit. In fact, they're making a shit ton of money now, so why not also tap into free government money, which they haven't been eligible for in the past, right? They don't get government money. But when you introduce vouchers, now these super gigantic, super wealthy, super elite private schools are now tapping into a whole nother income stream that they never had access to before.
Make sure it goes in the other direction.
You're right.
That's what you are, Michael.
You're right.
You're a class warfare warrior here to make sure that the billionaires win. That's what you're here to do. Let's be honest about it, dude. That's who you work for. You work for the billionaires. You are class warfare in the other direction.
Okay,
that's what you are. That's who you're here to serve, dude. Every day you come here and you make sure that they win and public schools lose. You're not looking for anything up there. You don't have anywhere to be.
I'm looking for the education committee.
Yeah, I bet you are.
So that I can make sure to kill the bill that you don't want to die.
Yeah, because you don't want to know how many rich kids are getting coupons. You don't want to know.
You're right.
Exactly.
Tennessee won't track existing private school students who receive it. Like I have, I have people that I know that are family members, that are family friends, that are people like that I'm friends with, that they can afford to put their kids in very nice schools, and I'm all for that. I also think they should fund public goods, right? The military, the police, the parks, the street sweepers, the public works, the just same everybody else does as a percentage based on taxes, including schools.
Why would we not track which kids?
That's fucking insane. But that's what Tennessee's doing, pushing for. They're trying to introduce a bill that would actually track this, and he's there to fight it. He's a lobbyist there to fight that. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Support the show while we're offline so I can pay the power bill. Shout out Q Idiot and the other people who donated. Q Idiot made a big dent in the power bill. I greatly appreciate that. And we had some donations from Hegemon and others. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. I got to go. I got to get up in the morning and do remote learning with Ollie. That should be fun. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for the new GIFs. That's a good one. I like the pickle jar. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Mariah appreciate it. I'm going to go home, get some rest, get something to eat. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Listen to me, bitch. So I don't drive my family crazy, I guess. Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Love you. See you. Bye. Maybe one day we'll do a jammy show.
I can tell you this.
Where I can show how she's stalking, showed up, threatened my family, threatened all kinds of craziness, dude.
Call out the people on this planet by name.
You don't know about it, legend. Get fucked. Dude, I introduced you to that word. What are you doing on here?
Balls. You don't have balls.
Okay, Scott.
There's nothing low-kinwinly appropriate for New Jersey. Get out of here, dude.
You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit.
Fucking New Jersey's fucking high-key chopped, bro.
Up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
Cooked.
Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6 cents for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need.
Goddamn legends, the Chuz.
All these false fucking.
Aren't you Israel's bravest warrior?
Worship is wrong, for a broke deposit. Fool in a thong, he's strapped to the.
Oh no, we're just fucking with you. Young kids say Ohio as like sometimes it's a good thing, a lot of times it's a bad thing, but they just use it weirdly. I don't know.
Lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think.
Fly out to Netanyahu. I can't hear you here, legend. Okay.
Get lit, get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q.
Yeah, Jammy is the reason I call that person Jammy. I think her name was pronounced Jamie as well, but it was she spelled it Jammy. So I started calling her Jammy and cussed her out a couple times, told her to leave me the fuck alone. I had to report her to the police for some threats she made against my family and talked about showing up here and all kinds of weird shit with all kinds of crazy emails she sent me. And she took all that as, I guess, me playing hard to get or something.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3.
She's talking about how I was going to be a good father figure for her son. It was just insane, dude. I got all the emails.
Now things are getting rocking.
I'm afraid us talking about her is going to resummon her. I haven't seen her in a while.
You got Frog News Network too.
It usually takes, she comes up with new accounts because I ban them all the time. It usually takes about 3 messages, and I'm like, oh, you're Jammy, aren't you? And then she won't answer. And I'm like, God, Jammy.
All this nonsense on my conscience, it's hard to sleep at night. Who the fuck is in my window with this time of the night? These parasites, these leeches, with all their secret meetings, teaching all you fucking cretins about baby-eating heathens. Believing in reasons with no meaning is bullshit. Will Bird motherfuckers out here busting the grifts. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't
Thank you for your subscription, Walter.
You don't have those guts because you're a pussy.
Good night, guys. Love you. See you. Bye.
Wearing aviator glasses in your mother's basement, and I won't even give out your dime store.
I'm going to have to break out the aviators back, I think. The digital aviators.